the event that kicks off the Marvel Universe is always the same. 15 years ago, the Fantastic Four got caught in the solar storm thing, and became the Fantastic Four. That's the beginning of the Marvel Universe. Everything else, 15 years. Doesn't matter how insane it is for everything to happen in 15 years. You know
what? Fucking Teletubbies don't have these problems.
No, they don't.
Let's just watch Teletubbies. Let's just all be Teletubbies fans. Who's your favorite Teletubby?
One of the reasons why I like DC Comics is I like how they will have reboots. So that way, like, stories are able to like have a little bit more like finality and weight to them, because like, okay, there are a lot to at least kind of end. Whereas in Marvel, it's like, no, it's always just it's still the same Peter Parker.
I hear you. It's just that my brain imploded about 10 minutes ago. And I've just been trying to nod and smile to keep you guys happy, because I can't keep track of it all. It's just too much. The Teletubbies don't have this kind of shit. Where's my tubby cake? You know what?
Yeah,
Tubby
all they have
cakes
is some
don't have
tubby
this
custard,
problem.
dude. Guys, a couple years ago, I was hanging out with Clanky and Genie, and we all smoked a boof and went on the Teletubbies wiki, and I could not stop laughing at the description of the tubby custard machine. I just couldn't. I was laughing harder than Inside Out Mick at the description of this fucking device.
What's the description? Well, now I need you to read it.
It's not
keep
that
in
funny.
mind. Keep in mind, he was high at the time, so it's not.
He was.
And there was there's like a whole tubby, what the, hold on a fucking second.
Oh, dude. You ever think about how the Teletubby baby son now has a baby? Whoa.
Yeah, what is man. He saying? The tubby custard machine is one of the objects in the Superdome that makes messy bowls of tubby custard. So the Teletubbies have to wear bibs. Who had to write this? There's a lot of... No way.
Hey, it's still getting it.
Let's go.
There are a lot of episodes where the tubby custard machine malfunctions and makes lots of messes.
Kristen, are you high?
No. Why is it written like this?
Keep going.
Why is it written
they
like
are
this?
very dedicated.
That's the new brand of gummies from Cheech and Chong. Tubby custard.
I'm trying to listen to the description of tubby custard.
No, I don't know. In the reboot, the tubby custard machine has been redesigned in the form of a train. It is orange and magenta with yellow lights and a red funnel. On the front, there's a smiling face with blue eyes. Okay, they're just talking about their tubby train now. The Teletubbies sit in their chairs, and the machine brings them around the house, and sometimes even outside. I don't know why it's written like this. It's written like it was written by a Teletubby.
I think that may be the point.
Can I be honest?
It has to be like maybe it's the Wikipedia they're using in universe.
I don't find this Wikipedia article to be a red flag. I think being a Teletubby in and of itself is a red flag, but I don't find that the article is.
Well, have you read about the Tubby Toaster?
Tell me about the Tubby Toaster.
It's a machine that makes Tubby Toast, you fucking idiot.
You said that in the same way as if you heard the tale of Darth Plagueis the Wise.
Have I told you the tale of the Tubby Toaster?
Tell you the tale of the Tubby
It makes Tubby Toast, you fucking idiot. Is it possible to learn this power? Not from a Teletubby.
By the way, I think that was the most abrasive Christian has ever been with me.
No way.
That's gotta be a lie. But it was certainly way more abrasive.
I challenge you to think of a worse
fucking coward.
The most angry you ever been with.
Don't worry, Clanky. Welcome to the Tubby Custard conversation.
Clanky, do you know that Christian got mad at me for not knowing what a Tubby Toaster did?
It makes Tubby Toast. I don't know what to tell you.
And good news, Clanky. It's still funny to him even without the drugs.
Yeah, I told them about when me, you, and Genie we're outside reading the fucking Teletubbies wiki.
Oh, when we fucking saw like the baby Teletubbies and there was like Dippy Doo and all that. Oh my god.
Dippy Doo.
Dippity Doo is hair gel from the 50s.
Hold on, I'll look up the names. Just give me a sec.
You
mean
hold on. They're called. Let me do it. They're called the Tiddly-Tubbies, and we have Ping, Duggle D, Roo, Umpy Pumpy, Dada.
Hey baby, you guggle my D tonight. Hey yo.
Hold on, I was like, what are these named? The teeny tiny tippy tubbies?
Where did these guys come from?
Tiddly-Tubbies.
Did the Teletubbies have sex? Is that
No.
canon?
I like to
hope
imagine
not.
that they're asexual and like lay eggs, and that's where they hatch out of.
No,
So
they
here's the-
actually,
but,
they
hang
actually
on.
do have storks deliver dude to the Teletubbies.
Here's the question: are the Teletubbies we see? Do you think that they're adults of their species?
Yes,
Or do you
because
think they're like
I think Tinky Winky is.
no? Because there can be babies, but there can also be older kids. How old do you think the main Teletubbies are?
I think that, like, you know how you call like baby dogs puppies? You call baby Teletubbies Tiddlytubbies.
Okay, that's fair. No, but what I'm asking is, do you think that the mainline Teletubbies we see, are they full grown, or do you think they could get bigger?
Tinky Winky only has like 5 days left.
Okay.
To live?
Yeah.
Because here's the thing. I don't know if you guys know this, but the Teletubbies are 8 feet tall.
It's horrific. I always imagined that them giving birth was like, instead of like, you
always imagined
human conception, it was instead like the ring where the baby Teletubby comes out of the TV screen.
Oh, that's perfect. That's exactly how it would work.
And conception to birth takes 7 days. It's crazy.
Oh, God.
Wait, maybe. Hang on. I've got a better idea. Maybe they don't die. Maybe. Maybe it's like some of those maybe it's like those sea creatures that have like the really convoluted life cycles, where when the adult quote unquote Teletubby approaches the end of its life, what'll happen is it'll basically go into a cocoon, and the new form will hatch out of the previous one, but it's still the same creature. But that's the new Tiddlytubby.
No, actually, I think in the absence of a queen, they one of them will become a queen and like lay eggs, and those eggs will latch onto people's faces. And
a giant, grossly distended Teletubby, that's like 20 feet long, and it's just.
It'll wrap around your face, implant a special enzyme that turns something in your body into another Teletubby, and it'll burst out of your chest.
Oh, you're thinking alien. I was imagining the Teletubbies were like ants, like they're a eusocial species, where like they have like a giant queen who all they do, like they're so giant they're immobile, and all they do is lay eggs.
That's what the baby sun is for.
Oh my God! No way!
I tell you what, guys, I was wrong. The Teletubbies is just as complicated as the Marvel comics.
Oh,
we are so back.
I don't think I've ever had an unfunny conversation about Teletubbies.
Shit!
Mystery solved. Get me away from here, Jordan, please.
All right, you want me to get you away from there, Taylor? All right. On that note, welcome to the Yearlies.
Oh man, I think I have to rev up. I think I have to rev up our Welcome to the Yearlies machine. It's getting a little.
But it had a musical sting at the end, though.
I was going to say, Jordan, I really liked the scoop up you did at the end. Yearlies.
Yeah,
that was good.
I wasn't a fan of
like
They say of the
what my
the Acropolis where the Parthenon is.
Yearlies.
The next time I host one, I'm gonna hide an immunity idol in one of the rounds.
That's so funny.
Turning into Sam Reich.
It won't do anything other than looking pretty, but you go ahead and do it anyways.
It will be able to do something if everyone else agrees that it does something. That is, by fact, the concept of money.
I don't think I can ever agree with that. I think that's too much power.
Why do you hate fun?
The next time I host, things will happen.
Listen, let me ask you something.
Now.
Today's bracket is going to be the most important bracket to one of us for one very specific game, and it's the moment he's been waiting for his entire life. And you need to ask yourself, what would an immunity idol do to today's bracket?
Yeah,
I'm more curious on how we would like find the immunity idol. Would it be like we say a secret code word and Mick is like, "Oh, you found it"?
Yep, that's exactly how I was going to do it.
Okay. I was going to say you do like Joe Probst and you just find it, put it by the water well every season.
I thought he would edit one of his comments in the last 5 years of this server and just add the word Easter egg somewhere.
Oh, that'd be great!
Oh my God! Well, now we have a great idea going. So
all right, so every round, I'm just gonna say every word.
Good luck with that,
we have an immunity idol. It's called playing Hold It. You get it
Yes.
once.
Well, not everyone has the idol anymore, and also you don't find it. You're born with it. It's
One of us
still
still has half of one.
You're born with it.
Clanky and I kept our holdits pretty close to the chest.
By the time I first saw the winners bracket, I was nearly a man, and when I first saw the light, I was blinded.
Okay, 98. 1998
Oh,
in video games.
You're being extremely thankful.
Please.
Do you accept man's resignation?
Holy shit, he does it so good.
While laughing, yeah. I said, who would like to start our honorable mention 98?
I would.
Yeah, go ahead, Mick.
Okay.
I don't have any.
Okay.
Okay.
Thanks,
All right,
Mick.
good.
Now you have to popcorn
someone.
somebody.
Why'd you popcorn it to Umby Pumpy?
Oh, good God.
Is this what we're doing?
No, I'm
Sure.
This is what we're doing.
That's what I'm doing, I guess.
It doesn't have to be Clanky.
Oh no.
No,
We
it
can still have a great night.
does.
You can
I
still
actually,
do
I meant to give it to Christian, but yeah.
Umby Pumpy's turn to do the.
Is it? Did he say?
NGs.
He said he was going to do Christian. Pumpy's not in the yearlies.
You
Sure,
can
I
only
guess
you
you
can
have a
only
point.
go. Umby Pumpy can only go if he talks
Let's not
like a
waste 2
Teletubby.
minutes on this.
LSD Dream Emulators on the bracket.
No.
I have no idea if that's what a Teletubbies is.
Cut to the kids in his chest. Hang on, let's zoom in. Let's zoom in on Umby Pumpy's stomach. All right, the TV will turn on, and Christian will be there, and Christian can give his entries.
Holy shit! Imagine if I record myself doing. No, we're not doing that.
What?
Umby
No,
Pumpy's
finish the
dead. I
sentence.
killed
What? We
him. I shot him
record
in
the
the head.
inner organs of you?
LSD.
No. We record him and then edit it onto a giant Teletubby.
Okay.
Double D. That's an Ed and an Eddie character. LSD Dream Emulators on the bracket. I am under the assumption, and I chose a lot of these games under the assumption that we are going to be doing an honorable mentions bracket for the 90s because Bomberman Hero is going to be on there. No worries. I will spare you all this year. When it does get on the honorable mentions bracket, don't worry.
You spoil us, Ambassador.
I swear it's different. I swear.
I like Bomberman games.
Actually, Mick that one most.
True. Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time is on the bracket. WCW/NWO Revenge is the only WWE game I've played, and you get to make your own custom fighters. Needless to say, I made a whole bunch of abominations and then watched them beat the shit out of each other. It was great.
That sounds like you.
Honestly, really true. I mean, I'm a Spore fan, so I can't believe that no one can stop Mr. Domino's on the bracket.
You can't stop him.
Speedy Egbert is this creature who is shaped like an egg going through this like endless runner, bit trip runner scenario, and it's really short. It's not a very long game, but it seems cute. Eggs of Steel, Charlie's Excellent Adventure was published by Atlas.
How many egg games do you have?
3. And then finally Egg, which is an old puzzle game where you roll an egg across a place.
Are these all from 1998?
Yes, they are.
1998 was the year of eggs.
I can verify that yeah. I mean, hang on. Eggs of Steel, Charlie's Excellent Adventure was a Blockbuster Video exclusive.
Holy shit, we're so back.
Man.
It and Clay Fighter, 63 in the third. The titans of the gaming market.
It has a 1% review on Joystick.
At least not 0. Well, obviously, I have to pass the baton to my brother in arms, Dougledy.
Oh my God! Really, this is our bit.
You spoil me. Well, my honorable mention is Medieval, and the only reason I put Medieval is because I remember the silly skeleton from PlayStation Smash Brothers. He goes, "I'm a skeleton," and that's what he sounds like.
He doesn't.
That's all I have to say.
He
Yes,
actually-
he does.
no.
He speaks full sentences, and all he says in those full sentences are "I'm a skeleton."
He actually canonically can't talk because he's only the upper half of a skeleton head.
I'm a skeleton.
If I recall
and he's
correctly.
a skeleton, and he speaks, "I'm a skeleton," and that's all he says.
Yeah,
he says it in
he
says it in like a Skeletor voice. You know what I mean?
He doesn't. I mean, here's the thing. He can't say it. He can't say it out loud, obviously, because he doesn't have the bottom half of the mouth. Taylor's right. However, he could communicate skelepathically.
Skeletism.
That's so perfect, and I hate you for you're coming up with it before me.
Skelepathically.
Clanky, have you actually played it though?
Nope.
I have.
Okay.
And I think it's pretty cool.
That's great.
You play as Sir Daniel, and you do things.
Well, Taylor, I'll popcorn you.
Okay, so.
Oh, I forgot to say, this was the year we were born.
Yeah, this is my birth year.
Some of you.
I meant
Like
we
3 of us.
exclusively being me and Christian, because that was the only other person I knew born this year.
When I started going to when I started going to our college, I was they hadn't finished building the humanities building, and then I took I took like a year or two off, and then when I came back, that's when I met everyone else, and so I was in the year I was technically completing my 4-year degree alongside people who were born in 1998. And Graham, when I said that I was born, that I started attending when the humanities building was in construction, Graham changed that to Mick has been here since before humanity was complete. Humanity hadn't been finished yet.
Oh, the humanity.
Humanity is constantly evolving. Are we ever truly finished anyways?
Yeah, humanity evolves every 15 years.
One day we'll become into our full final.
Just like the Marvel Universe.
I don't know why I'm doing Hawaii 5-0. There's no 5-0.
Anyway, your honorable mentions.
I know. I'm sorry. I needed a track, and that was the only track that came into my head.
Okay.
All right. Mystical Ninja starring Goemon. You play as the Mystical Ninja, who is named Goemon. And it's basically it's like if an anime was a Zelda platformer. You play as Goemon, and you have a friend named Abesamaru. You are such a great. You're a fantastic human being, and I love you.
Thank you.
You have this friend named Abesamaru who dresses up like a historical thief, but like also likes to get naked for random reasons. And you have this friend named Sasuke, who's just a robot that everyone keeps forgetting to put batteries in, so he's usually a he's usually a vegetable. And then Yai, who is pretty normal. But I just like the adventure you go on. You go to towns, you get information. It's all like a Zelda game, but the dungeons have more hopping in them, and it's pretty cool. The sequel is kind of weird. Suikoden 2 is a beloved RPG franchise, according to the internet, of the last 10 years. The idea is that you have 108 party members, and you recruit them all to. Some of them are for fighting. Some of them will do services in your castle, and there's a really good experience system. Good 6-party battles. Everyone attacks at once, so fights go pretty speedy. And it's just pretty good. There's a pretty good story. Suikoden 1 is not as good. And I hear that Eiyuden Chronicles is mid. So I'm glad to know that we got where we needed to go with this. Wario Land 2, much better than Wario Land 1 because it's faster. And it's got lots of different alternate paths. And you can fight chickens. And I don't like chickens, so I'm there. And yeah, it's just a competent platformer on the Game Boy Color, and Clanky knows what a competent platformer on the Game Boy Color is. So he's you are all. I also love you. I love you all. Everyone is. I'm full of love with everyone.
So much love.
I love me all too.
Pajama Sam 2, Thunder and Lightning aren't so frightening. A little sad that it didn't get on the bracket, but there were just other priorities. Pajama Sam 2 is my favorite Pajama Sam game. It's the one I grew up with. You need to find the broken parts of a weather machine, which include the Y pipe that just asks you questions because he's the Y pipe. You get a wing nut for the sun machine, and because he's the wing nut, he's like, I'm the most important part of the sun machine, you fucking son of a bitch. And like you can trick yourself.
Why don't you kill yourself?
You can piss off a leprechaun. And what I love about it is that every time you transition from one screen to another, there is a unique animation that Pajama Sam does. So there is like a unique animation path for every piece of movement that Pajama Sam does in the game, and I just think that's awesome. And that's all my honorable mentions. But special, not anything to probably the worst game I've ever played ever. I like if you. I have to think about this, but I think that South Park for the Nintendo 64 might be my actual least favorite game that I've ever played. It's basically Turok, but if the draw distance was 7, and that's not. By the way, that's not a unit of measurement. That's just the number 7. It's
7
like
girth units.
Yeah, curve units.
And basically, every 5 steps, 100 chickens come and peck you to death. And levels are like 40 minutes each. And if you run out of health, you can do the whole level over. And there's no variety in the enemies. It's just chickens. I think that they're turkeys. I'm sorry. I think that the enemies changed later on, but you're never going to get past the first level because the game is terrible. It's a terrible game. It's the worst. It's so fucking awful. I would not be ashamed if someone hated the N64 because they played this game.
Well, Clanky,
What?
did you play South Park for the N64?
No.
Okay.
Are you sure?
I'm not sure.
Answer the question, Clanky.
He's not just sure. He's Nintendo 60 sure.
Well, I guess, Taylor, that is your Bart versus the Space Beats, I suppose.
Guys, I need help. Guys, I need help. I've turned 28, and I think my clock is clearly ticking because I can only make puns now.
No, but you know what, Mick? You're already 2 in, and we haven't even started the bracket yet, so I'm very excited to see what else comes of tonight.
No, this isn't like a tonight thing. This has been past the past month and 2. I've been making awful jokes.
They were really actually clever ones.
I think they're great.
I
think I'm just getting to you.
You guys didn't even recognize my clever South Park joke.
Oh, I heard it.
I heard it. I just time sped up so fast that I didn't have the opportunity to stop and be like, Clanky, that was so good, and I respect you. And it might be because you were bashing the N64 in the process, but that's okay. I like that joke. I like that episode. That's Console Trouble. That's episode 1201 that you did.
I feel like a lot of words are being put in my mouth this year, at least.
Clanky is my best friend.
Put it in your mouth.
Wow.
Anyway,
I didn't even hear that. I just heard the last few words. I'm like, all right, I got it, Graham.
Anyway,
yeah, there were two very different sentences that got spoke right there. One was a cry of love, and one was a cry of depravity. I think I pronounced that wrong. Graham, Graham, if you don't give me your honorable mentions right now, I am going to testicularly plunge my plunger.
I cast testicular torsion.
I cast the bed to buck
into your outhouse, wheelhouse, greenhouse,
outhouse and shithouse.
Bear in the big blue house.
Sneeds, feed, and seed. Formerly Chuck's.
All right, I'll do my honorable mentions.
Okay, good.
I talked about Pokemon Red in '96. I'll talk about Pokemon Blue, specifically Blastoise. I think it's weird. I think Blastoise is one of the only Pokemon that becomes mechanical upon evolution.
That's got to be wrong.
No, I was trying to racking my brain thinking of okay, it just becomes like a cyborg because it gets metal pipes shooting out of its back.
We don't know that they're metal.
The Iron Man?
We don't know that they're metal. They could be bone. They could be made out of keratin.
They are depicted very metal-like.
Yeah, sure, but his shell is also shiny. Keratin can get very shiny. Ivory is polished.
Mick, choose your battles.
I'll choose my battles. Chosen my battles. It could be keratin.
No, I think it's metal.
Okay, agree to disagree.
That it is metal.
You're right.
Fallout 2 is a game I like in theory.
Yeah,
because
I don't like Fallout 2 very much.
The tutorial kind of blows and sucks because if you didn't choose any of these skills to use these limited range weapons, you're kind of fucked. And then it's also where this is really where the Fallout you ever start kind of getting zany and wacky, which is either good or bad depending on your view of it.
To be fair, though, you can become a male porn star.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that's a plus.
I'm sure I could find at least 10 other games where I can do that.
Do you start as a fluffer in them?
I'm sure I could find at least 2 other games where you can do that.
Would any of them go on to become major like video game franchises?
I'm sure there's at least one other game like that.
Anyway.
But the less said about Sonic the Hedgehog, the better.
Yeah, true. We've already talked about that guy so much.
Oh yeah.
Turok 2. I've actually played like a fair bit like of the PC version. It's pretty good. It's a boomer shooter. You can control dinosaurs. There's a gun that shoots like a tiny drill that goes into enemies' heads. That's pretty neat. Metal Gear Solid. So, fun fact: when I made this list, I had only played the Twin Snakes version. But in the brief amount of time between when I made this list and when we were recording this,
by brief he means 7 fucking months.
Yeah, I wonder whose fault that is.
I actually did play a fair bit of it on the Nintendo Switch because of the recently released Metal Gear Solid collection.
I'm assuming it cost you an arm and a leg?
I mean, most things do, because I have 1 arm and 2 legs at times. And Parasite Eve is like an interesting idea of like a turn-based strategy survival horror that I've always kind of been fascinated with.
Wait, guys! Holy guys! I actually
we're done.
Guys, wait, no, I didn't. I missed something. I missed something. This is actually really, guys. This is really important.
There's something important.
I went through every single appearance of Yoshi in 1992, and I found a game. Do you know what it's called?
What is it called, Christian? Tell us.
I kind of want to get to the first round, actually. So we
know what
can
it's
save
called?
that. If there's time later, we can say that.
Jordan, Christian, if you tell us, then you can't pitch Glover.
Spend the yearlies thinking about what the name is, and come back. And then if nobody gets it by the end of the yearlies, I'll reveal what it is.
Listen to me. All you have to do tonight to get Christian to acquiesce is threaten to not let him pitch Glover. That's
Yoshi.
all you have to do tonight.
The game's called Yoshi.
Christian, I'm going to let you pitch Glover.
Did you say
I'll let him pitch Glover as well.
You know, when we do improv together, you're supposed to say yes.
Yoshi. It's Yoshi. The game's called Yoshi.
Bitch to Glover.
My bitch
Glover. Listen. Glover think. When my
bitch Glover wants to watch Orange, but I want to watch Blue.
I hardly know her.
Mick, you're foaming puppy cakes out of their mouth.
We are so gone.
This is almost as bad as the time I had an out-of-body experience watching Iron Man 3.
Okay.
It had nothing to do with the movie. It was just a weird thing that happened. I astral projected midway through.
Okay.
Went to Shane Black's body. It's crazy.
So we go to round 1 to actually start the yearlies proper.
What's the yearlies?
I believe it's an old.
Well, when a mommy and a daddy love each other very much.
If I could walk that way, I wouldn't eat aftershave.
What did he even say?
It does. And as always, thanks for watching.
Hey, Jordan, did I say he's having a stroke? Hurry! I already forgot.
Yes, you did.
When did I say it?
2 seconds ago.
I sincerely don't remember.
The way you said it was so funny. Okay, round 1.
Let's be sensible.
Starting out with a titan of gaming, Banjo-Kazooie, which is a Taylor pick, versus No One Can Stop Mr. Domino! ! Which is a Clanky pick. Who would like to go first?
If I go first, I'm going to lose, so no.
He can't be stopped. He can't be stopped.
No one can stop him. Well, Clanky, you put this game up here. Do you want to pitch it, or do you want me to do
my day.
All right, fine.
All right, go.
No One Can Stop Mr. Domino A is a puzzle video game developed by Art Dink, released for the PlayStation in 1998. The user controls one of 5 anthropomorphic dominoes, placing other dominoes in rows that will successfully topple while avoiding obstacles and working under a time limit. Gameplay edit. The game includes 6 stages, a casino, a grocery store, a family home, a local park, an amusement park, and a city. Each stage is set up like a racetrack, as the characters will return to starting point after each lap. The player can make many laps as needed, giving clear a given stage. When the level is cleared, the player will proceed to the next stage. Once a stage starts, the character starts to run and will not stop running. To control the character's speed and direction, the player dictates movement with the D-pad. The characters are not under the player's control will attempt to hinder the avatar's progress in ways such as throwing dice, turning on electrical wire, and making fruit appear out of nowhere, making the evasion of such obstacles a primary concern to the player. The game element, called a trick tile, places the dominoes effectively by input of the circle, X, triangle, or square button. This will place dominoes on a certain path. The player can continue to keep placing dominoes by holding down one of the aforementioned buttons. When a full lap is completed around the stage and returned to where the first domino was laid, the character will bump into the domino. The dominoes will begin in effective inertia, and the character will stand while the dominoes are falling. While active, the character's stamina will decrease. This is signified by the character's body gradually darkening. If the character's stamina is depleted, the character will transform into an ordinary domino and the game will end. This is prevented by encountering special recovery tiles that can recover the character's stamina, but can only be used once for each tile. The player clears a stage by activation of the required number of trick tiles for each stage. Score is increased by activating the trick tiles in a shorter time and in as long of a chain as possible. If the stage is cleared with a high score, the player will be able to unlock new characters. Characters edit. Mr. Domino, the titular character of the game and one of the 2 characters that are selectable at the beginning. If he runs at normal speed. At the end of his run, he jumps from the top of a building and turns into a normal domino. Oh, that's crazy.
What the fuck?
A young woman can be seen walking as Mr. Domino falls. Eventually, she sees Mr. Domino in his normal form on the ground, picks him up, and walks away with him. That's crazy.
What
Miss
is this
Domino
fanfiction?
is the only other character available at the beginning of the game. While she has the same speed as Mr. Domino. Miss Domino moves by skipping rather than running. At the end of the run, she runs into the wall and turns into a normal domino upon impact. Mr. Domino sees this and does the same, turning himself into a normal domino, lying beside Miss Domino in a normal form. Bruce is a domino with devil horns, unlocked by simply completing the game once.
No, my mistake. This is our cut of our own, clearly.
Yeah, he is difficult to handle due to his fast running speed and is thus for advanced players only. At the end of his run, he blows himself up into a normal domino, only for a crow to swoop him up and fly him away. Pierre Domino is a domino with glasses, unlocked by his setting. Is a high score for each
he's
stage.
Quebec-y.
He is the opposite of Bruce, as he runs slowly and runs out of stamina quickly. At the end of his run, he falls over due to exhaustion and turns into a normal domino. The sky then rains on him. Dude, me too. D triangle M dot question mark 0 is an alien-like domino, unlocked by setting a high score for each stage. While he is listed as the unknown style, he actually is the fastest of all the characters. At the end of his run, he melts into a normal domino and a UFO beams him up before flying into the space with him. Reception edit. Alright guys, this is where I have to admit, I didn't fucking play No One Can Stop Mr. Domino.
I'm the only one who's played it.
Really?
I had every intention of playing it over the winter break, but it is currently not the winter break yet, so I did not get the chance to play this game. So, unfortunately, I'm a reception edit. The game received mixed reviews upon critics upon release. 2. In Japan, Famitsu gave a score of 25 out of 46. Next Generation said that for puzzle-savvy players, the combination of technique...
Whoa. Hold your fucking horses. What, 25 out of 46? What kind of a scale is that?
No. The source was 6. The source was 6.
God, sorry.
25 out of 6?
No, I heard 25 out of 46, and I'm like, wait, out of 46? Who rates things like that?
Yeah, I'm citing my sources here at the Yearlies. Okay?
Yeah.
Source, I made it the fuck up.
Mr. Domino gives the game just enough of a hook to incite addiction. 10. Game Pro said, though the one false move gameplay may turn off some puzzle fans, and the linear problem solving makes it merely a solid renter, Mr. Domino's unique charm makes it worth playing 14C. Notes, known as Do Not Stop Domino-kun in Japan. Two critics of Electronic Gaming Monthly gave the game each a score of 7 out of 10. One gave it an 8.5 and the other gave it a 7.5. C. GamePro gave the game a 4 out of 5 scores for graphics, sound, and fun factor, and a 3.5 out of 5 for control. References, edit. No One Can Stop Mr. Domino, Acclaim Entertainment, November 30th, 1998, archived from the original on August 5th, 2004. 2. No One Can Stop Mr. Domino for PlayStation Game Ranking, CBS Interactive, archived from the original on May 1st, 2019, retrieved October 29th, 2020. 3. Stockenheim Sean. What a name, dude.
You have found the immunity idol. There it is. Stockenheim Sean.
Well, I think you should use it for this round.
Wouldn't that be crazy? All right, yeah, guys, folks, I don't know what to say. Yeah, go
I'm
ahead.
the only person here who's played this game, but I think Clanky's pitch was so detailed and immaculate that I don't think I need to say anything. I just think it's really funny.
Because he read the Wikipedia article, that's why.
I think it's really funny that the Japanese name is like something like "Please stop, Mr. Domino." And
it's I believe.
Do not under any circumstances stop Mr. Domino.
Do not stop Domino.
But then the American version is "Don't even bother. No one can stop her."
Yeah, no, the Japanese version implies that you may, in fact, have the ability to.
It's like a polite. It's like a polite request. Please do not stop, Mr. Domino.
Yeah. He wants to keep going.
Hope is lost.
Here's how I'm choosing to look at it. We have a game that Clanky's never played versus one of my favorite games of all time, and Clanky is so confident that Mr. Domino is going to win that that was just a declaration of war.
You can't stop him, but you can't.
Hey, to be fair, if we did this Yearlies January 10th, I would have played Do Not Stop Mr. Domino under any circumstances.
Okay. So it's gonna be difficult to top that, and I mean that sincerely. But Banjo-Kazooie is
going up the wiki.
I was really hoping he was going to do it too. I was really hoping that he was just about to say, "Is it Nintendo?"
That would have been funny.
Would have been funnier is if you just read off Mr. Domino's description, except replace every instance of Mr. Domino with Banjo-Kazooie.
I didn't know the games were so similar.
Banjo-Kazooie is a trip to Disney World, guys. All right.
Oh.
Spiral Mountain is the hotel, Grunty's Tower is the highway, and the 9 worlds are the theme parks. Sister gets kidnapped.
The 9 worlds.
Go rescue her
by
from an evil rhyming witch named Gruntilda. The entire game, he mocks you with randomly generated rhymes. Not randomly generated, but there's like so many rhymes, and they come at completely random times.
8 minutes on Don't Stop Mr. Domino.
There's a beefy Wikipedia page.
Do not stop Domino-kun.
That no one playthrough is going to feel like you get the same taunts. Banjo-Kazooie's moveset is incredible. Each new ability that you get ties into what you can do so seamlessly that it never feels overwhelming or like too much. All the while, the gameplay stays fresh. You have this one move called the Rat-a-tat-rap, which is just like this air poke. Yeah, like all the moves have like such fun names, like the Rat-a-tat-rap or the Beaky Barge or the Shock Spring. And it's the Talon Trot. The Talon Trot is a fun one. You can also shoot eggs.
In high school.
You can also shoot eggs at it. No, you know what? I'm not going to tell you where you can shoot the eggs because then Nick won't vote for it. There is so
Out
much.
Of your head.
There is so much charm in this game. When you collect a Jiggy, Jiggy is the collectible of the game, and when you collect one, Banjo-Kazooie do a little dance. Goes ba ba da 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 ba da ba da ba, and then Kazooie eats the Jiggy. So I don't know how she gets it later. But if I tell you how, then Mick won't vote for this. When you take damage, their heads get sad.
How a bird works.
I know how birds. Believe me. I know how birds work.
When you take damage, Banjo-Kazooie gets sad. When you stand idle, Kazooie pecks at you from her backpack because she lives in a backpack. Kazooie is the original cocky shit. We love her. She spends all of her time just telling everybody what pieces of shit they are. And she just somehow gets away with it. You also get to torture a camel in the game. Also, everything has eyeballs.
I've made my decision.
Oh, no, I don't know. Wait, I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing. Sometimes you
listen, you mentioned camel torture, all right? What do you think I'm voting for?
I don't know.
Kazooie tells a tree that it like sucks someone's dick or something, if I recall correctly.
She says, "How are your nuts, bark breath?" Okay.
Okay, thank you for the clarification. Thank you. Good.
All right. Very specific. Sometimes you randomly get turned into a washing machine, and sometimes your save file will actually try and murder you. Like the save files, like it's Banjo in bed, Banjo in the kitchen, Banjo playing Game Boy, and sometimes when you load your save file, like Banjo will just randomly get hurt. Like sometimes you'll wake up from bed and the game will start. Sometimes your bed will fling you out into the abyss and try and murder you.
Some creepypasta shit, dude.
Yeah. Every world in Banjo-Kazooie is a magical, amazing adventure. They have amazing music. Grant Kirkhope does the xylophone so fucking great. And everywhere you go in the castle, the music of the world changes to accompany the instruments of the world you're in. So it seamlessly transitions. So like you're in a haunted level and the castle theme gets spooky. Or you go into like a forest area and it becomes like a Robin Hood's sound. Each of the worlds has fun
favorite genre of music.
Each of the world has fun activities to earn jiggies. These are like the rides of each theme park. They each feel diverse and scenic. I admit some worlds can be a little short, but what I realized as an adult is that you can really, if you sit down, you can play through this entire game 100% over the course of one day, like how Christian plays Castle Crashers over the course of one day. And it's got this magical adventure as you go from the Bubble Gloop Swamp to the Breeze Easy Peak to the Click Clock Wood to the Gobi Valley. It's just so many scenically interesting levels. The overworld is so great. Cheeto, there's Cheeto the Spellbook, who gives you free spells.
Oh, I love Cheeto. I love that guy, actually. I love that floating book.
Grunty's sister just randomly hangs out in the castle and just tells you disgusting facts about her from high school that you will later use to win a board game. Because at the end of the game, you do a whole quiz show that asks you questions about like all of the levels in the game and all of the music, and you do challenges that came in the game, and it all culminates in this amazing final boss fight with the best music in the game, and it tests all of your abilities, and it's also really fucking hard.
But I think it's funny. Is it okay if I spoil Banjo-Tooie?
We already
Never mind. Continue.
We already talked about Banjo-Tooie, so...
Oh, no, but if you don't care about spoilers, and one thing I find funny about Banjo-Tooie is that in the final boss of that game, in the middle of the final boss, Grunty will come out and ask more trivia questions.
Yeah, that's true.
In the middle of the fight.
Well, it's because you do a trivia round right before that. And she's like, I had all these trivia questions left over. I didn't want them to go to waste.
That's me with Yearlies pitches.
Basically,
I had all these Yearlies pitches left over.
Basically, listen, Banjo-Tooie had its problems, but Banjo-Kazooie is just this giant theme park vacation of a good time every time I play it. It never gets old. It feels fresh in my mind every time. Every time I play it, it really is the equivalent of going on vacation for me. It's in my top 10 favorite games of all time. It's incredibly reward. Oh, I love this game so much. I love gushing about this, and I got to think really hard about what footage and music to give Jordan for this one.
Yeah, no pressure. I'm sure you're gonna pick a winner.
Yeah, Mick, I think you like the game. I don't know.
Okay.
So, like dominoes. Is this the game?
I think that for dramatic tension, we're going to start with Graham and go Graham, Christian, Clanky, Taylor, Mick. Because I want to see what happens. So we are starting with Graham.
And you're coming back to me.
Okay, then we're not starting with Graham. Then we're starting with Christian.
So I have a running theme with this Yearlies today. I actually have a running theme going on. And that running theme, if you look at the camera on Discord, that running theme is physical copies. I have a physical copy of No One Can Stop Mr. Domino.
Oh,
I don't
even. This is not like an official copy. It's the disc is probably official, but I have no idea if the actual the case obviously isn't. Anyway, see you later, fucker, because I'm voting for fucking Banjo-Kazooie.
Oh.
you throw it, it starts sliding, and it can never stop.
I hope the disc is okay. I did throw it onto something hard.
Fine.
I voted for Banjo-Kazooie.
You voted for Banjo-Kazooie over the ashes of No One Can Stop Mr. Domino.
Clanky.
I feel like I have to vote for No One Can Stop Mr. Domino, not because I hold any ill will towards Banjo-Kazooie. I've never played Banjo-Kazooie, but I don't know, dude. I fucking put up this game, so someone's got to defend it.
Is that fact? I feel like Christian has put things on the bracket just to complain about them before.
He
I put
is
stuff on the
right,
bracket
though.
and then not voting for it.
Yeah, it's totally allowed. Taylor.
That's my vote. You know what it is.
Okay, that is one vote for No One Can Stop Me. No, I'm kidding. It's Banjo-Kazooie.
It's a good thing that you're host, Jordan, because another person would actually put that vote in and not let me change it.
Never in a million years.
I love Banjo-Kazooie. I will be really heartbroken if it loses first round.
Absolutely. Mick.
Come back to me.
Graham.
What?
I want to vote after Mick.
You can't.
Mick.
All right, Domino Coon, which way?
Which way, Domino Man?
What's the current score?
All right, Mick.
2-1 Banjo-Kazooie.
Let's
You
put it
can
this
give
way,
it
Mick.
Look, I'm giving it to Banjo-Kazooie because I don't fuck.
Okay.
Look. The name is funny, I'll give it that. But like, I don't know,
But someone
man.
has to end his madness.
I've at least
No one can stop him.
Someone has to stop Mr. Domino.
I mean, here's the thing. I've heard of Banjo-Kazooie. I've even played Banjo-Kazooie. Yeah. Not all the way through, but I played a little bit of it. All right, and I've literally never heard of Do Not Stop Domino Kun. I'm a purist. I use its Japanese name.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm giving it to I'm gonna give it to Banjo-Kazooie because I'm tired, boss. I'm tired.
We're round 1 and you're
I'm
tired.
tired.
Speaking as the only person who's played and no one can stop Mr. Domino, it's not a bad game. It's actually a pretty fun puzzle game.
I'm voting for Do Not Stop Mr. Domino, then.
What?
No, I'm joking.
Okay, good. Graham.
Hilarious.
Truly.
I was always
you're not
gonna
give me a
vote
heart
for
attack
Banjo-Kazooie.
right
Okay.
My heart
4-1.
sank when he did that.
Banjo-Kazooie.
What did Graham do?
He voted for Banjo-Kazooie.
I was always going to vote for Banjo-Kazooie. That'll probably be the last one.
Hey,
I'd like to
next-
say I'll change my vote to No One Can Stop Mr. Domino, but I don't care enough.
Round 2. I actually think this is a really tight matchup. Spyro the Dragon, which is a Taylor pick, versus Thief, the Dark Project, which Mick put up. Who would like to go first?
I've already talked about a Thief game, so I can kind of calibrate my pitch based on that and how much time I have.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Your time starts now, Taylor.
Well, look, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that Spyro the Dragon is Banjo-Kazooie in terms of how much I adore it, but I do adore Spyro the Dragon. I realize that I never put Spyro the Reignited trilogy up in 2018, so we actually have the opportunity to talk about each Spyro game separately, which I actually think is pretty cool because I do have a special spot for each of the Spyro games. This was, unsurprisingly, my first one. I played it when I was a kid. I went over to a student. My mother had this student who we went to the guy's house, and he just had Spyro on PlayStation 1, and all I wanted to do was play Spyro because it's just this game where you would run around as this purple dragon and save crystallized dragons. And what I really liked about it was the sense of discovery I got whenever I found a giant big crystal dragon statue. And like, oh, look, I found one. And that made me feel really good as a kid. But as an adult, what I like about it is that it's just a really good collect-a-thon where the dragons are your jiggies, but the moveset is fantastic because Spyro has this infinite dash. You just hold a button down and he can just dash forever. He can shoot fire breath, which burns everything around him. He's got a super long glide, which the ability to fly is great. It's one of the tightest movesets in collect-a-thon gaming. And the gem collecting, which is the equivalent of this game's banana, note, feather collectible, they're probably the best kind of that collectible because they're littered all over the place, and so you constantly feel like you're getting rewarded for finding them. It's kind of like putting Zelda rupees in a collect-a-thon because they each have different monetary values, but you also have your health companion, Sparks, will also help you pinpoint where certain gems are. I don't know if that's a thing in this first one, but I know it's a thing going beyond this one at least. So it's easy to track them down. There are these levels called raceway levels where you need to use Spyro's moveset to kind of collect a bunch of things in a time limit, which leads to some really fun score attacks. They're easily some of the best parts of the level. The truth is, like, Spyro 1 is kind of like a sandbox of a collect-a-thon, where it's like very much a playground in the same way that Mario 64 feels like a playground, but for PS1 games. Like there are better Spyro games, there are more activities in some, and better bosses and characters, but this first one really doesn't have any bad parts. All of the levels are good. The final boss is pretty cool. There's a good collectible final. Yep, thanks. There's a good final level if you collect everything. Spyro is an endearing character, if that matters. I just really like this. You know, it was an honorable mention that I put on, but like, I just love Spyro, and I like other Spyros more, but I also really like this one. It's very tied into just like there was this time when I was playing with a friend. Well, I wasn't playing with a friend. I was the kid I was.
You were playing with an enemy.
Someone was watching me play, and like, there's this part where you jump on these platforms. Like, there's these series of platforms around a waterfall, and they seem kind of inconspicuous. And he goes, "Hey, if you jump on each of those platforms, a dragon will show up." And I didn't even know if it was true or not. I just knew that I had to try it, and I wasn't very good at platformers, so I never figured it out.
Well, a dragon would show up, considering that you're playing as a dragon.
Yeah.
It showed up.
Thanks, everyone. Beer in the fridge. Don't drink too much. Drink responsibly. Count the alphabet backwards. And you know what? Just please go eat a tubby cake before the day is done, because we bought too many of them. Thanks.
And you know what? You should call her.
It took me 3 days to make this tubby casserole. 3 days!
Yeah, your ex probably wants you back. You should call her right now.
She's getting married. Anyway.
You gotta stop the wedding just in time.
The accident wasn't your fault.
Why do I always know that when Jordan is making these jokes, he's being sincere? This is how I learn what's going on with Jordan's love life.
I'm playing it up a little.
Sure you are. Anyways, that's
stop the wedding.
Stop the wedding. Spyro says no. You can talk about Thief now.
Okay. So,
Thief nuts.
All right, well, that was your pitch, Mick. I don't think you can top that. I really feel like that's the pinnacle of the Yearlies, and we should just quit now.
Yeah, sure.
We either quit now or we kill Christian. Those are our choices.
Mike Tyson be like,
those are
nuts.
our choices?
Yes,
that was so murder. Funny. That was so funny, Christian.
I'm so funny.
Man.
I'm the funniest person here.
All right, that was the Thief pitch, guys. Drinks in the fridge.
Right. Remember to tip your waitresses. All right. So, I've talked about Thief before. I believe it was in 2000.
I remember it went against a game that it just had no chance of beating. And...
Yeah. So this is its chance to win again, if not against Spyro or Dragon, against No One Can Stop Mr. Domino.
But no one can stop.
He can be stopped, I swear it. Thief the Dark Project is a first-person stealth game released by Looking Glass Studios. Shortly before they go under. Looking Glass is the same studio that made Ultima Underworld and System Shock. And in '98, they come out with Thief the Dark Project.
Are you sure it was 98?
Yeah.
You sure it wasn't like 2007?
I'm sure.
Okay.
What?
Wanted to make sure you got the year right for the Yearlies.
Yeah.
You're buying it dope.
I mean, who would do that? Who would get the year wrong for the Yearlies?
Jordan, play Graham's theme music!
Yeah. So, the premise of this game is you play as a thief named Garrett who lives in a city called The City, which is the city is an odd mixture of sort of late Middle Ages meets the Industrial Revolution. I believe one of the people involved in the game described it as medieval Europe meets Brazil. And not the country of Brazil, like the movie Brazil, the Terry Gilliam movie.
Going to the city.
So it's like vaguely steampunky kind of thing. Anyway, the main character Garrett is a thief. and a very good thief, and all he wants to do is make money and continue his parasitic lifestyle. He's not a hero of any sort. He just needs money. He just wants to pay his rent and get rich.
I need money.
Yeah. However, in taking multiple jobs, he winds up getting embroiled in the larger plot between the three factions in the game. The Keepers, who are sort of a secret society trying to balance the other two factions, and the other two factions are the Pagans and the Hammerites. I'm not going to go too much in the story because that's not really the big draw here. The big thing is the gameplay. I think this game holds up remarkably well. Because there's been very few other games that have replicated what the very other stealth games that have replicated what Thief does, except until very recently. There's a Gloom Hollow, Gloomwood, which were recently released, and also the new Indiana Jones game actually has a lot of Thief elements as well, which I'm debating whether I want to play.
I hear it's good.
Yeah. There's other reasons, but we're not talking about that right now. Anyway, so the levels are big and rather open-ended, with maze-like environments, and there's all these different NPCs walking around, and your goal is to get through it, steal as much money as you can, and complete objectives in each level. As I said, everything is almost largely unscripted, and it's very much, it's not a sandbox because there's no like open world, but like once you're in the level, how you approach the level is your own thing, and you are encouraged to not fight the enemies. Honestly, combat is kind of awful, and so you're encouraged to try and sneak around. Now, previously, I had sung the praises and said that Thief the Metal Age, the sequel, was the best one in the series. Playing the first one, Thief the Dark Project, the one I'm talking about right now, again, has made me recalibrate that, as I think I actually like this game's simpler, more pared-down moveset. If that makes sense. Like, there's such a thing as too many options for tools you can use. This game keeps the equipment you have much simpler, because and so I've come to really appreciate this game for the simplicity of it. But the main thing that really sets this game apart from and basically any of the game that exists at the time was just, and like obviously this isn't very impressive now, but the game's NPCs will react based on if they see or hear anything. So you have to make sure so like if they hear a sound, they will go, "What was that?" and go investigate, which was novel for the time. And
Metal Gear did that too, right?
Yeah, the year 1998.
Yeah,
but that's the thing. Not the way this game does it. It's much more unscripted the way Thief does it, because you have a world with, you got full 3D movement, and you can throw objects, and those objects can land in a place and bounce off of things. There's a lot more variables in the way Thief does it, that it's very impressive that the NPCs will go on alert and go around searching the area, they'll react to sounds, they'll react to brief glimpses, and they have like different levels of alertness, and also the NPCs don't fight to the death, which is one of the neatest things. The enemies, if you damage them enough, they'll try to run away. They fear death.
I mean,
yeah.
how
Which is,
could they? They're not real.
Yeah. My major beef with stealth games are stealth games that make you kill enemies. And Thief encourages you not to kill enemies. And so for that reason, it's one of my favorite stealth games, and favorite games in general.
So it's just like Undertale.
What?
Thanks, guys. Beers in the fridge. Thanks for coming to the Yearlies. This is going to be our last one.
Beers in the fridge.
Hey, man, the Yearlies are on.
They talk about the Domino.
Hey, man, nobody can
Go
stop the Domino.
Sal.
I'm
No,
sorry.
you're Sal.
I knew you would hate that joke. That's why I made it.
All right.
But anyway, yeah, I guess. I mean, does anyone have any questions?
Is this like Undertale?
No, nothing
Oh
like
my
Undertale.
god.
Okay.
Is it like Deltarune?
No, nothing like Deltarune.
Is it like Deltarune Chapter 2?
Hang on, one thing I want to
Guys.
say. Something I love, and this is gonna. You probably are gonna hate me about this. This is either something you're gonna love or you're gonna hate. You become very sensitive to the materials of the floor in this game.
Yes!
Like, you become like the greatest enemy in this game are fucking tile floors.
Can I ask, I don't know why Christian cheered there.
Because I'm autistic, I love floor materials.
So you got to be very careful about which floors you step on. So like carpets are great because carpets muffle sound. Wood is kind of in between. A tile and metal are the death of you because they will just make so much noise. Luckily, you have arrows covered in moss that if you shoot them in an area, it'll cover the ground with moss, meaning that you can step on it and not make any sound. Moss arrows.
Yeah. I love the texture of movie theater floors.
Oh my god. Okay, going to the vote, we start with Graham.
I'm gonna vote for Thief the Dark Project.
Oh, we're
Hey,
back to
guys.
this.
Lovely.
Guys, side bet. How long do you think Graham is going to keep this bit going? The entirety of the history of this channel, or just like until the end of this decade?
Everyone in the comments, make your votes in the comments, people.
I'm sure whichever ones you say, Graham will find a way to do none of
Graham
them.
will abide by the opposite of what you say.
Someone has to say the entire time, and someone has to say none of the time.
Christian.
Well, I guess that strategy wouldn't work, because then, whatever. I'm going to vote for Thief the Dark Project.
All right, Taylor. Oh, wait, no, it's not Taylor's turn yet. It's Clanky's turn. Sorry.
No, it's okay, Taylor. You can go first if you want.
I was just going to giggle and say, Purple Dragon.
Barney?
Well, no, he's a purple dinosaur.
Right.
Dragons
yeah,
and dinosaurs are not the same thing, Jordan. You uncultured fuck. I love you. I'm sorry.
It's okay. I got my little reptiles mixed up.
I got my
amphibian.
I got my reptars mixed up.
Oh, Clanky.
Godzilla?
I collect reptars.
I'm gonna try to break my habit of saying before every vote. So I'm trying really hard to do it this year, gang. God. Shit.
That had to be scripted. There's no fucking way.
I know it wasn't, and that's why it's so funny. Like I've given up on trying to get rid of the from the first moment we started the Yearlies.
That was fucking hilarious.
Clanky, you have like 27 more rounds to go. So
great. Well,
you can keep trying, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, Herm. Well,
Herm, what did you
Just go through all the sound effects.
Hi, caramba!
I think in my life, I'm going to my room. That's not a good catchphrase.
H.
I don't think that I like stealth games, and I think that's what drags the whole Thief series down for me personally.
Oh, you'll hate Thief if you don't like stealth games.
Yeah, like the only stealth game I've ever really considered playing is Metal Gear Solid, and that's because it's Metal Gear Solid, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that being said, Spyro's always a series I've been interested in, and I really love Crash, so I would probably, in theory, maybe like another PS1 platformer, right? So I'll give it to Spyro.
Yeah.
They are different, but they are like the buddies of the PS1. Like they hang out. They very clearly grab beers after each.
Yeah, that's why we got like Crash Purple and Spyro Orange on the Game Boy, right?
Although, hang on. There's no way Crash drinks beer. Crash drinks something. Crash strikes me as the kind of person who always orders something much harder.
He drinks Four Loko,
what he does is
yeah.
it's a mixer. He takes the Wumpa fruit and he mixes that into the blender, and then just like
there's Wumpa fruit in the fridge.
Chris, the kind of motherfucker to make gongsters. Honestly, it's true.
Oh man,
I like the idea of Wumpa fruit flavored Four Loko though.
But Clanky, every Spyro game comes with a Crash demo, and all the Crash games come with Spyro demos.
Oh.
Wow.
So here's the thing. I actually do like Spyro, so I'm not going to say anything, bad about it. I've got nothing against Spyro. Actually, I had a it wasn't this one, but I had a Spyro game as a kid, and I enjoyed it. I really enjoyed playing it. So I'm not going to say. So I've got nothing negative to say about Spyro. But Thief the Dark Project is one of my favorite games of all time, and actually, I've been recently playing. I've been playing a mod that came out for it just last year called Thief the Black Parade. This is part of the reason why I've come with my found a newfound appreciation for Thief the Dark Project. Being given more levels to play around with all the tools it gives made me really appreciate it.
Very nice.
I said that could be like an alpha hitman, but then if that's wrong and you have to explain why it's wrong,
I don't understand what you mean by alpha hitman.
We're
moving on.
This isn't a joke, by the way. I just imagine the thief is kind of like Hitman in some ways.
Kind of. I mean, it's without the disguising element.
Yeah, like you can give me the details later, but that's what I thought. Like maybe it's like you have that special relationship.
It's got a very similar. A lot of the reasons I like Hitman are a lot of the same reasons I like Thief.
There's a reason why in Skyrim Mercer Frey is voiced by the same Garrett from Thief.
Who's Mercer Frey?
He's the leader of the Thieves Guild.
Oh, okay.
And also when Corvo got voiced in Dishonored 2, he's voiced by Garrett.
Yeah. It's funny because I was actually just watching someone play Skyrim, and they learned that Parthenax is voiced by Charles Martinet.
Oh wow!
He's voiced by Charles Martinet.
All right, round 3.
I got Chuck in this game.
Round 3. We have Baldur's Gate, undeniably put up by Graham, versus the only logical opponent for the first Baldur's Gate, Sega Bass Fishing. Submitted by Christian, who would like to go first.
Can I make an anecdote before we start, not a pitch?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know nothing about Sega Bass Fishing other than Christian keeps buying it for everybody.
Oh, it's his Stellaris.
No. I took the habit from someone else. It was like a disease, and it was passed on to me. I haven't found a successor yet, but one day they will wear my shoes.
Like there was just this period of time where Christian needed to make sure that everyone owned a copy of Sega Bass Fishing.
Well, now I thought it was special because I got it for my birthday.
Yeah, and I've never gotten it. How do you think I feel?
Well, Mick, maybe I'm building you up to be my successor.
Oh,
that makes sense.
This is part of your trading, you fucker.
Okay.
Graham, talk about Baldur's Gate.
Graham.
So Baldur's Gate.
Yeah, no, true.
Baldur's Gate is obviously the first in the Baldur's Gate series. It was one of the first big pioneers of the isometric RPGs, which is established as like a genre that is still going to this day. And it's a very interesting because this is the plot in this game is a lot more low key than a lot of other RPGs that at the time and since. The main story is you have been raised your whole life in this fortress library called Candlekeep, and one day your mentor Gorion is just like, "Hey, we gotta go like now." And then something happens. He's your mentor, and you're all of a sudden like all alone in the woods, just with your childhood friend Imawin there to like help you. And for a lot, the plot, it's like this is like a level like 1 to 8 kind of story. Like you never really go like full like God Killer. Like you would in the sequel, and to a lesser extent in 3. No, like the main plot, it has to do with like iron shortages and people trying to take over like political machinations of the town, and this big dude in iron armor named Saravok who is killing a lot of people.
You just said there were iron shortages.
Yeah, and what do you think?
Because he has all of it. That's what his iron shard.
Yeah. No, like I played like the edition of the game a bunch, and I just really like kind of like there's something about sort of like lower level D&D that like this game like really captures very well. Like coming into town, seeing what the problem is, and like dealing with it, and like finding like the story.
The eat trash, do crimes level of D&D.
Yeah,
chaotic neutral D&D.
Yeah,
that is Christian D&D.
Yeah,
would highly recommend if any of you have played Baldur's Gate 3 and are curious about the series. Like, there is like learning curves involved in the game, but it's not like insurmountable. This is based on 2nd edition D&D, so like there's gonna be like a lot of numbers and stuff, but this is definitely still very much worth your time, like even all these years later.
Dude, I hate numbers. You know what I do love? Fish.
floors.
Floors, yes.
Floors.
There's only one
welcome
thing.
to Christian's Floors and Fish.
There's only one
Floors,
thing I love more than
fish.
floors.
And fish
it's
for your
fish.
floors.
Welcome to my game show, Floors or Fish. You have to guess whether it's a floor or a fish.
I'll play that game. Give me a matchup. I assume you have a matchup ready to go.
No, of course not. But I do like the hat that Mick sent in. I was originally going to go through every single vote and read off another one of these for each vote, and Mick, you just have the first two that I was going to read.
Christian, I challenge you to, by the end of the night, to play one round of Floors or Fish with me.
I'll have something prepared. We'll have to see during a future
Let
pitch
any
here.
fish who meets my gaze know the
fish.
true meaning of fear, for I am the harbinger of death, the bane of creatures subaqueous. My rod is true and unwavering, as I cast into the aquatic abyss. A man, scorned by this uncaring earth, finds solace in the sea. My only friend, the worm upon my hook, wriggling, writhing, struggling to surmount the mortal pointlessness that permeates this barren world. I am alone, I am empty, and yet I fish.
Hey, let me tell you how much I've come to hate you since I began to live. There are 387.
Christian
just
Fish.
really hates fish. Anyway, Sega Bass Fishing, known in Japan as Get Bass.
Come on, there's drinks in the fridge. They're low calorie.
Walk
so you won't
fast,
too
get
fat on
bass.
them. Bass is bad.
Arcade fishing game that got on the Dreamcast fairly early afterwards in 1999. The arcade machine had, as you would imagine, a peripheral for reeling in the fish. However, the Dreamcast users were fortunate enough to get their own form of the controller, which you can see listed here. It was probably just as nightmarish as you would imagine to use. So the thing about Sega Bass Fishing, the reason why I'm going to be talking about it right now is because this is a fishing game. But I do not believe this to be only a fishing game. However, I like to call this
So much more.
I like to call this an action fishing game. You pick a map, you pick the weather for the map, you pick your bait. You are dropped into the world of Sega Bass Fishing. And the instant that you throw your rod into the lake, you are engulfed into the murky depths of the water environment. You are given the non-stop POV of you looking into the deep abyss that is the sea of which you have chosen.
If you will.
The camera follows incredibly close to the lure, and if you pull the bait, you pull it stupidly fast, so you basically zoom through the ocean like a torpedo with your bait as you pass by numerous eldritch creatures who look upon you with scorn at the juicy morsel attached to your hook. And you'll need to be fast to face off against these horrible creatures, otherwise known as bass. These fucking fish are ruthless monsters that will attack your bait in the span of milliseconds upon sight. I think there's 3 frames of animation you have to prepare before the fish rips into your line. They show no mercy and will fight to the death against you, and they will rip your line through the sea faster than you could go in a Mario Kart race. And since the camera's always following everything here, this fish will take you on a fucking journey as it flips and flops out into the shore, into every single rock in the area. And it is the type of game where, despite the fact that this is a fishing game, you can get motion sick. So
flips and flops, it drips and drops, it sips and dips, it flips and shits.
By the time you're actually able to get the fish into your boat, you won't remember where you were, and you'll have to reorient yourself because the fish threw you so far off track, like some fucking drunk driver in the middle of a highway. And what's not helping this entire matter is the UI for the game, which descends upon you the instant the fish latches onto the morsel with flashing lights and buzzers and sirens and screaming to induce a feeling of maximum panic and terror. There are caution signs that scream at you to move left and right at all opportunities, flashing on the screen trying to give you a seizure. The fishing meter blinks and plays a fucking fire alarm when you try to reel in too fast, risking breaking the line. As soon as you pick up a fish, the game will just yell at you, say "fish" in all exclamation points.
With audio? With vocals?
No audio, I don't think. But depending on who you watch play this game, you can have audio. Combine all of this with the high-energy arcade disco groove music, and this game should be sued for false advertising because there is no way that bass fishing is actually this intense or fun or anything. This game is what happens if they went into this with Adobe Premiere and edited out the 30 minutes of doing nothing. Most fishing games are beneficial because you get to sit down and chill and relax with your friends. This is not that game. This is the game where you want to feel the cold sting of death brush by you as you go into a POV camera with your bait, and you can watch as one of the horrible creatures devours your bait right into the camera.
Let me put it. I think I can put it like the Sega Bass Fishing has the same energy as the Bass Pro Shop Pyramid.
Yes, it does.
The giant, the 7th largest pyramid in the world is a giant Bass Pro Shop in Memphis, Tennessee.
A structure on Earth that it only exudes a strong feeling of intimidation. That is Sega Bass Fishing. Unnatural, uncompromising, and sends fear into your heart.
And related to bass.
Yeah. I mean, what, did anyone else have anything to add about Sega Bass Fishing?
You bought this for me for my birthday one year.
I think I bought it for everyone here except for Mick. And Jordan, because his Steam didn't exist.
Obviously, the Sega Bass Fishing hasn't made the jump to Mac yet.
Clanky, I asked you something. Is that all he got you for your birthday?
Ever.
I don't know. Maybe.
Ever.
I said he got him a full complete set of the Teletubbies.
I got him the Tubby Custard Machine.
Yeah. All right.
Well, that's the bait.
Vote.
Yeah.
Clearly, you don't own a Tubby Custard Machine.
Clearly, you've never been bass fishing.
I'll have you know I have been bass fishing. It is as exhilarating as you might think from playing this game.
Yeah, I do kind of need someone who actually went bass fishing to fact check me on this pitch.
I'll get my uncle to do it. Okay, so
it's like, oh no! The HUD drops down and yells fish at you.
You were bombarded with flashing lights like you were surrounded by an army of police sirens. It is actually like some sort of sensory nightmare playing this game.
Dude, how great would it be? How great would it be to like do like a thing where we go bass fishing, but like set up a rig to give you the full Sega bass fishing experience?
We have speakers, and whenever anyone gets a fish, the speakers just go fish.
You want to put speakers out in the open ocean?
Oh, dude,
yeah, that'll scare the fish.
Also, bass don't live in the ocean.
Yeah, that was going to be my second point. But my third point was going to be, and we got a fucking strobe light. And
we have like a little camera that we attach to the hook so you can see.
Yeah.
David Attenborough is going to be livid. All right. Going to Graham.
With all due respect to Sega Bass Fishing, I'm going to vote for Baldur's Gate.
Don't.
Bass fishing, huh? It does put in some funny
bass
visuals,
fishing.
not gonna lie.
Oh, I'm Paul McCartney from Wings.
No. Hang on. No, that hang on. Beatles impressions. No, that's not until round 6.
Oh.
We don't own a monopoly on which round we do Beatles impressions in.
Well, this is the one where we have Get Bass to Where You Once Belonged. Christian.
Well. No, I'm just imagining like a mod where someone replaces all the fish in Sega Bass Fishing with like stand-up bases. I'm gonna vote for Sega Bass Fishing because it scares me.
Okay. Clanky.
Clanky, what's Christian's name?
Do you know how hard it was for me not to instinctively say, right at the beginning of that?
The amount of mental fortitude.
It's a curse, man. I'm voting for Baldur's Gate.
Damn it! It doesn't even have a chance.
Taylor.
Question for each of you.
Mm-hmm.
Christian, how much actual content is in Sega Bass Fishing?
About as much content as there is in fishing in real life.
That's a very you can interpret that answer any way
so much
you want.
content.
And you catch
too much content.
Other fish than bass.
In this world, there are only bass. All other creatures were eradicated by the bass.
Are there missions? Is there story? Are there
there are
places
missions.
to
You
fish?
catch bass. There's a mission that says you should catch bass.
Hang on. I have an important question. Christian, have you played Sega Bass Fishing?
A little bit. I played a little bit of it.
All right. Graham,
I caught at least one fish.
how many missiles?
You can catch magic missile, so a lot of missiles.
Actually,
At the very least 3 per turn.
Sincere Baldur's Gate question: Baldur's Gate or Fallout 1?
Baldur's Gate all the way.
Really, it's like a significant increase.
Mm.
Would you say that Baldur's Gate has the same jank that Fallout 1 has? Yeah, you need to be honest.
No.
That sounded like a lie, but okay, I'll vote for Baldur's Gate.
Oh.
What that sounded like to me was it's hard to tell. They have jank.
Yeah.
They have their own special, unique types of jank, and it's honestly kind of hard to compare.
Yeah.
They're roughly equivalent. It's hard. It depends on what kind of jank you're after.
If Sega Bass Fishing promised me a time, then I would consider voting for it. But
It promised you everything that was in the title: bass, fishing, and Sega. If you want more than that, then you're being demanded.
I was promised Sega.
And honestly, Sega seems negotiable based on the Japanese title.
Bass.
look at the hall monitor.
I played 8 minutes of the game. I feel like I've seen everything.
Of Baldur's Gate?
No,
Baldur's Gate is a short game.
It's 3-1, Mick.
3-1. Sega Bass Fishing is the one.
No.
Sega Bass Fishing is the one.
Okay. You know what? Here's the thing. If my vote mattered, I would have given it to Baldur's Gate. But the thing is, I kind of like. I like the.
You can envision a world where bass are the only thing that runs supreme, and
No, fuck it. I'm voting for Baldur's Gate. I'm sorry, Christian.
You don't have to envision that world. That's where the hit 1998 game Sega Bass Fishing is for. You don't have to envision it. It's right there.
Known in Japan as Ghetto Bus.
Is it a hit game because you hit it with your car?
Just like Oprah.
We ran over Oprah.
Round 4 keeps me on my toes because we have Yoshi's story. Now you would think, because he likes Yoshi. It's actually a Clanky pick. Note that word story. That's your hint. Bubble Memory is the story of Bubble 3. Yoshi's story. That's a card.
so
Fish 3, the case of the stolen conch shell. Knowing the last few brackets of humongous entertainment entries, you would think this would be a Taylor pick. And judging by the presence of Fish 3 right there in the title, you would think it was a Clanky pick. But no, neither. Mick put up Freddi Fish 3.
Technically, Taylor also put it up, but it was compromised off.
Very true.
Okay.
And to that extent, we're going to split this pitch a little bit down the middle. I think Mick is going to pitch, and I'm going to just gonna just casually play the game in the background.
Hey, Jordan, we got your capture footage.
Yeah. So as it turns out,
Wait, hang on. Wait for
yeah,
I
that's
actually
right.
have to wait for Jordan to count down
Go.
this round. Can you do a 3, 2, 1 for me for no special reason?
3, 2, 1, go.
So, me and Taylor actually both have a history of this game. Like, unless I'm mistaken, Taylor, you also played this game a bunch of you as a kid. This game was one of my, along with a few putt games. Freddi Fish 3 was probably one of my first games I got really into. I know this game like the back of my hand, not nearly as much of the back of the hand as Taylor has committed himself to learning. But yeah, so the premise of the game is you play as Freddi Fish and her partner Luther, and they go on vacation to Hawaii, or the sea around Hawaii, and where Luther's Uncle Benny is the keeper of the conch shell for the main celebration. For the Founders Day Festival. However, turns out Uncle Benny got arrested because the conch shell had been stolen and he was wrongfully blamed for the theft. And so Freddi and Luther need to figure out which of the which of the townspeople was the one who committed
Mick,
the theft.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but I actually just beat the game.
Yeah.
Can you start the pitch over?
Sure, I can.
He's gonna do it
All right, just hang
again.
on. 1 second. Because I want to casually play the game while you pitch.
No, I think you can beat your time.
Go ahead, start pitching.
All right, so Freddi Fish 3, The Case of the Gold Stolen Conch Shell, was a humongous entertainment game that both me and Taylor have a lot of both shared a history with. It's
we
humongous
did this already.
Yeah, the premise is that Freddi Fish and Luther go on vacation to Hawaii, and they find that Luther's uncle Benny has been arrested because they mistakenly believe that he stole the magic conch shell. It's not actually magical. So Freddi and Luther agree to take on the case and do the investigation and figure out exactly who stole it. As a humongous entertainment game, it's a point-and-click adventure game with the great humongous entertainment game quirk of the fact that the exact setup for the puzzles will change depending on the run you go through. So it's a bit of a trying to figure out who stole the magic conch shell, and so it's a bit of a whodunit, and the culprit changes depending on the seed you get, which is neat. Just to fill everyone in, Taylor's learned how to speedrun this game. This was not inspired by me. He had speedrun this game before.
Mick, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I just beat the game. Can we do the pitch one more time? But
so is
I'm
Taylor speedrunning Freddi Fish, or is Mick speedrunning pitching Freddi Fish?
Just one more time. One more
time. One of the most impressive things ever done in the Yearlies.
One more time, Mick.
This is incredible.
Let's go. So Freddi Fish 3 was a 1998 game. It was the third game in the Freddi Fish series, published by Humongous Entertainment. Me and Taylor both had a history. I used to play the game a bunch when I was a kid, and from what I understand, Taylor did too. As the premise of the game is Freddi Fish and Luther go on a trip to Hawaii, and they find that Luther's uncle Benny has mistakenly been blamed for the theft of the conch shell, and so Freddi and Luther agree to take on the case and find the actual culprit. Obviously, it's a puzzle game with the unique humongous entertainment quirk of having the puzzles get randomly generated every seed, and it's a whodunit to figure out who stole the conch shell, and that changes every seed. So you can't just and so so each time it's a fun thing to figure out who committed the crime.
Mick loves a good random seed this time.
Yeah. So there are 6 possible suspects, and as you go through, you need to find the different pieces of the conch shell, and then eventually find the
almost at PB.
File. But then Luther gets kidnapped in a temple, and it's all around. It's a really fun time, and I think Taylor's about to beat it, and so I'm going to end my pitch.
Beat it.
PB,
Yeah,
PB, let's go.
3 times.
Did we do that in 4 minutes? Did I manage to beat it 3 times in 4 minutes?
Just about, I think.
Just 4 and 45.
All
But
right,
either way.
Let's go. We
I
have
think that counts the average.
speedrunners. 2
Actually, I think if we edit out,
speedrunners.
because the thing is, we pause in the middle for you to restart the seed. I think if we edit I think if those were removed, I think it probably took about 15 seconds to reset the thing.
Absolutely.
So I think in total.
Honestly, when Mick did the wrong warp into the second paragraph of the pitch, I thought that bit was really, really risky, but I think it paid off.
Yeah.
No, it was actually a solar flare just happened that caused him to skip it.
That's a once in a lifetime.
So, just to piggyback off of what Mick said, this is my favorite humongous entertainment game for no other reason than as a kid I would just see how fast I could beat the game by mashing the escape button, and then I realized as an adult that people actually do that professionally. I'm like, you know what? I could get on this leaderboard, and now I'm in the top 40, which isn't quite Mick's Alone in the Dark record, but I'm pretty proud of it. And yeah, all the stuff Mick said. I love catching the thief, terrorizing Crab, a funhouse mirror. Great game. I beat it 3 times in one pitch.
So yeah, there's another game in this matchup.
Is there? I could just speedrun Freddi Fish more.
I bet Clanky could speedrun Yoshi's story.
Well, here's my question. If Clanky never played No One Can Stop Mr. Domino and it was above Yoshi's story.
Well, I think that should just speak to the quality of Yoshi's story. Shall I begin?
Yeah, I mean, Mr. Domino is really good, so...
So I think Jordan kind of alluded to this before, but I don't know how I ended up becoming the Yoshi guy on the bracket. I'm the one who submitted Tetris Attack. I'm the one who submitted Yoshi's Island, and now here I am talking about Yoshi's story. And it's weird. This game is unlike any other Yoshi game that exists in that, it's still a platformer and Yoshi still controls the way you'd expect him to, except there's no baby Mario, so none of that, time limit stuff with your game over. Instead, Yoshi can just straight up die because in this game, you have something called a happiness meter, or the smile meter, sorry, because in the plot of this game, the super happy tree has been stolen, and it is up to the 6 Yoshis to retrieve it so Yoshi can feel happiness again.
That's what happened to me, huh?
The only remaining happiness that they have.
Tree's been stolen.
God. The only happiness you have is is indicated by the smile meter, which when it runs out, it ends up looking like this. That's how you know it's corrupt. So what's weird about this game is that it's not like a typical platformer where you're trying to get to the end of the stage. Instead, what you're trying to do is collect enough fruits to basically fill the border of the screen. And depending on what you collect, depending on what you find within the level, you can unlock more levels. But it doesn't... So, you know how in a regular video game, you go to level 1-1, which is like World 1, Level 1, and then you go to 1-2, which is like World 1, Level 2, right? We're all familiar with the concept. In this game, you don't go level by level, you go world by world, and you choose the level you want to play. It's almost like this game was built as a Yoshi roguelike before roguelikes really, became a thing. I know Rogue existed, but you know what I mean. Before they were really able to iron it out. This game is, I feel like it has the potential to be one of the greatest Yoshi games to ever do it, but unfortunately, it's just kind of okay. It controls pretty well, especially for an N64 game, because a lot of the characters, I believe, I'm pretty sure most of, if not all of this game is just sprites, or at least the main gameplay of it is just sprites. So it's not chugging along trying to, render all these models and making it kind of cumbersome as a result. But
cute art style.
The art style's cute. It looks a little slimy. But I feel like I can say that about a lot of N64 games.
Never want to have a game.
I don't feel like Yoshi's
Greasy.
story looks like other N64 games. To be fair.
That is true. That is true. They're definitely still trying to go for the crafted look that Yoshi's Island had, where Yoshi's Island looks like it was kind of drawn by a child. This game kind of looks like it was crafted by a child with fucking cardboard platforms that you use to get around, and the whole thing takes place within a storybook. It's literally, that's why it's called Yoshi's Story. Yeah,
Yoshi's New Island was like it was developed by a child.
Yeah. So, in this game, you have 6 lives, each being represented by one Yoshi. If a Yoshi dies, they're done. You're not getting them back.
Fire Emblem.
You have the it's Fire Emblem rules. You have the opportunity to get 2 other Yoshis, a white Yoshi and a black Yoshi, and I believe that their stats are like better than the regular Yoshi, but it leads you to this this problem, because do you want to use the white or black Yoshi and risk losing them if they die, or do you or do you want to just go for the safer option, which is light blue Yoshi? No one likes light blue Yoshi. This was one of the
rolling in his grave.
He's dead?
This is the first N64 game I think I played besides Mario Party. In the tradition of my dad getting me weird consoles for Easter, he also got me the N64 for Easter.
It is a weird console, isn't it?
Console, then.
Very weird console.
Yeah, I mean, like, out of all the consoles that my father has gotten me for Easter, I'd probably rank Ouya number 1, Virtual Boy number 2, and the N64 number 3.
The fact that Virtual Boy is not number 1.
That is so rage baiting, it's not even funny.
It's not bait, my friend. It's truth.
You know what does
it was last round.
So, yeah, the problem is that, it's crazy to be saying this about, like, a Yoshi game, because you'd kind of expect this going in, but it's even worse than you can imagine. This game is piss easy. This game can be beaten in a half an hour.
I know, that's never hard pisses.
Again.
Well,
What?
Taylor beat his game in less than 2 minutes.
Yeah, but, like, in theory, in Freddi Fish, you should be, like, I don't know, I was watching Taylor speedrun, I don't know what the fuck he was doing. I can't name a single thing that
the
happened
missing
to that.
conch shell.
That's why I knew I could show footage this time.
Yeah, like, sure, I'm sure he was, finding the missing conch shell, and I'm sure, in theory, that is what was happening, but to me, it just looked like you're going from, you're playing a slideshow, and eventually they all go, yay, you won. So...
My vacation.
Yeah, so I don't know. I don't really have much to say about Yoshi's story because I'm not going to sit here and tell you it's an amazing game. I think it barely passes the thresholds of
Let's put it this way, Clanky. You put the idea of no one can stop Mr. Domino above it.
Yeah, I mean, I think Yoshi's Island still reigns supreme as the best Yoshi game. This game tries, and I think with some retooling, maybe, like, ironically enough, with more, like, roguelike elements, like maybe you get bonuses or, like, upgrades or shit in between worlds or something, or there's like a better reason to go from one level or go to like level 2 instead of level 1 at like the first world or whatever. And like I'm sure that there
Mom's
is
heart
like,
comes
some
and tries
reason
to kill you in one level.
I swear to God.
But yeah, I don't know. This I think that with some retooling, this game could be very good. But the way it stands right now, it's just kind of like okay.
And that's where Yoshi's story ends.
Or how democracy dies.
Not with a whimper,
Yoshi.
but with a Yoshi.
With a yum.
Okay.
Yeah, Graham got it.
I can do a pretty good Yoshi impression.
Yeah, it is actually really good.
I do love Clanky impressions. I do need to hear this.
All right, fine. This one's all right. All right, I'm gonna give you my impression, and then I need to give you what one of my friends from college's impression of Yoshi was, because it's really good. Okay,
Gonna do an impression of his impression?
Yeah, but I guarantee you it's accurate. So my impression of Yoshi is Yoshi. Like I could do
That's
it pretty
very
well.
good. Yeah, that's very good.
Thank you. But my friend's impression of Yoshi is, "Oh, Mario, what's up? Yoshi."
Oh, Mario.
I will be honest.
Hey, Ma! Mario!
Hey, Ma!
It's Stitch's drunk cousin.
It's a dragon!
Mario,
In
it's
Skyrim!
Ma, they got Yoshi's story!
Your friend's Yoshi to me sounds like your Donald Duck in the sense that there's this aroused voice in it a little bit.
You know, now that you say it, like that does tend to be a theme with these impressions, because we also had a Shrek impression and it went, what are you doing in my swamp?
It's arousal, yeah.
But to be honest, like whenever you say you're going to do an impression, I'm always half hoping you'll just do your regular voice.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, it's not as good as your Borat impression, but it's like it's up there.
Or your Watto.
My wife.
It's so good. It's like he's really Sacha Baron Cohen.
Yeah. All right. We go to the vote. It is Graham's turn.
I gotta give it to Freddi Fish, man. That was...
Yeah, you got to. Christian.
I like to think that I'm at least decent at Osu. I am nowhere near the professional level, and it is an insane talent to be able to play like that kind of rhythm game that fast, clicking all over the fucking screen like a maniac. But one day I hope to strive to be as good at Osu as the top-ranked Freddi Fish 3 speedrunner Plank. So I'm gonna vote for Freddi Fish 3 in solidarity.
I gotta say, like, it is a good game. Like, putting speedrunning aside, it's just a good game. It's a lot of fun.
Oh, I'm sure it is.
Oh no, absolutely.
Yeah.
I had to find new things to say about one of these.
Yeah. Clanky.
I think my curse with a lot of the humongous entertainment games is that I didn't play any of them. I never grew up with any of them, so I don't care about any of them. That isn't to discredit, like the fact that watching Taylor speedrun the game is like, what the fuck is going on? That's crazy. Like, I'm not trying to discredit that at all, but it's just like, I feel like if my first experience with a humongous entertainment game is going to be at the age of 26, like, what am I doing? And I understand
that is an adult's mindset. You can absolutely have this exact conversation last Yearlies with Backyard Baseball. There is a treasure and magic to these games that newer games just don't recreate. There are kids games now that just don't have the magic of the humongous entertainment games. Graham.
Yeah, and like I
to be fair though, even the humongous entertainment games don't have they didn't have the magic of Zork, and Zork didn't even have the magic of toys with lead paint.
Or the cathode ray amusement device.
Yeah, I get the irony of me saying that when I'm supposed to be going to bat for Yoshi's story, but
Insane Aquarium.
Just shut your mouth. Insane Aquarium is fucking great.
Sorry, is your children's fish game not as adult like as my children's fish game?
If you think Insane Aquarium is just meant for children, then you are an insane aquarium. I don't know what to tell you.
Listen, Freddi Fish 3 has lessons for all ages.
I'm voting for Yoshi's story, but
that's a spite vote. You know what, Jordan?
It's his.
I literally just explained that I don't give a shit about humongous entertainment.
Jordan, give Clanky some spite vote music.
I'll figure something out.
You just want an excuse to give him music.
Yeah.
Maybe. Everyone needs to have some theme music.
Taylor.
Well, I am very sad that we don't get to go ba 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 ba. But it's Freddi Fish. I'll say a few words about Yoshi's story in the losers bracket, but
okay.
For now, we need to solve the case.
And Mick.
Clanky, can you tell me about what was the thing about the tree?
So at the very beginning of the game, the super happy tree gets kidnapped, and
what does the super happy tree do?
It is the source of the Yoshi's happiness.
What does it fucking sound like?
That's fair. And so without the tree, they're unhappy?
No, they can only be happy unless their smile meter is then their happiness, and once that depletes, they fall into a state of depression.
Well, see, it's actually a great symbolic story about the need for relying on material possessions to be happy.
No, because here's the thing. Because the super happy, honestly, that sounds like horrifically dystopian. It's like a fucking Nozick's experience machine. Like, they're not actually happy. They're just like the super happy tree is making them happy without regard to any actual value being found in their lives. And without the super happy tree, they're experiencing normal levels of happiness, and it makes them suicidal.
Yeah, that's a good way to interpret it.
I'm voting for Freddi Fish 3.
Yeah.
Literally Yoshi's story.
Fish 3. Okay. So.
By the way, I can't believe Clanky didn't vote for Fish 3.
Fish 3!
Oh my god, I just got the joke. Oh, damn.
It only took you 12 minutes.
So round 5. I do not know what Graham Fandango is, even though Graham put it up and Mick also nominated it. So I do not know whether I should be scared of it, because my wild card pick, due to lack of any other options, is Yoot Tower. I don't need to go first this round.
Graham Fandango.
Grim Fandango is a point-and-click adventure game. It is, this was like the last LucasArts point-and-click, right? Am I right, Taylor?
The last one? I mean, I think it was the first time Tim Schafer took the head, but
I thought this was like the end of the era kind of one because it didn't really sell that well.
It was later, but it wasn't the last one because Escape from Monkey Island was still LucasArts, right?
We don't talk about that game.
Okay.
So the premise of this game is, you are a Grim Reaper.
Cool.
And in this world, Grim Reapers are kind of like travel agents. In that you're trying to like whatever.
Grim, I feel like there's a more fundamental thing you forgot to mention, is that this takes place in this takes place in a world based on the Aztec afterlife, except it's like film noir and everyone's like a sugar skull.
Whoa.
Yeah,
it's a great style. It's
that's such an important detail that it's.
I should mention, Jordan, you said I'm not sure how I'd feel about this. I did almost want to play this with you at one point.
Oh, okay, cool.
And based on what I'm looking at, LucasArts made tons more games after this.
Okay, cool.
So many.
Basically, when someone dies, they're assigned to you, and based on like their life, they're given like 3 options based on how they want to get to like paradise. Basically, like one of them is just a walking stick with a compass on it, so you can cross the desert. One of them is like a train. I think the fast one is a train, and then there's like a boat. Things like start happening. It becomes quickly apparent that things might not actually be like on the level up in the afterlife. Mm-hmm. So you have to go on this like quest because you like there are people who are like taking like the tickets for the train and giving it to people who shouldn't be. So you have to. I think it's been a few years since I played this. Like the basic premise.
Just to elaborate what he's trying to say is that basically when everyone dies, they get like a, based on how good they were in the real world, they get like a package deal. Like this is what you've earned. So like you talked about the compass on the stick. That's like what people who sucked in the real world get. It makes it tougher for them to get to paradise. But like really good people will get a ticket to a train that takes you to heaven in 4 minutes.
But there seems to be corruption involved, and people are scalping
by
tickets.
Ironically a guy named Domino.
Can anyone
stop him? Can anyone hope or fear?
There's only one man who can stop him, and that man is Man E. Calavera. The main character's name is Manuel Calavera, known as Manny.
Oh,
and he's great. I love him. Glottis, not so much. So Manny has this sidekick.
Oh yeah.
I guess we'll call him a sidekick. His name is Glottis, and Glottis is this thing who just makes sound effects the whole game. Basically, whenever he's on screen, he just makes sounds with his mouth. He doesn't contribute in any meaningful way. He just goes, and you think I'm joking. You think I'm fucking with you right now. But that is literally whatever Glottis does when he is on screen. It just makes noise. He is
just like me, for real.
Well, here's the thing: is that Glottis has hardcore, like, I don't know, Christian. I feel like you'd like Glottis.
This looks like a. Oh god, I don't even know. Some sort of abomination.
I know, like I don't know. This is very. Glottis has very Christian's favorite character energy.
He's
like if he was a character in a fighting game, you would play this guy religiously.
I don't know. I'm more of a fan of little guys, but he is very funny looking. He looks like a Muppet with a hand up his ass. Didn't you play the fucking like Bark and Bite or whatever he's called? Oh yeah, well Bite and Bark are robots, so they get the
okay, I see. Okay, I understand.
I do want to mention something about this game, but it's not positive. So is that okay?
That's okay, because if you're not going to say negative things, I am.
So I have not played this game. However, despite not playing this game, I have heard about how infamous the puzzles are in this.
Yeah.
boy.
How fucking ridiculous the moon logic is. People have just told me forklift, and that's apparently all you need to know. That puzzle is so feared that you just say forklift and it can scare people.
Here's how I define Grim Fandango. Fantastic story, terrible puzzles. Like, oh my god, I hate these puzzles. There are so many problems. They let you take more than one of the necessary object you need, so your inventory can get stacked with special ceremonious bread. You can get a bunch of rubber balloons. There's a puzzle where you need to stuff rubber balloons on a machine so you can read a file to hunt down a client. The game doesn't tell you what you're trying to do at any given time. So there's a puzzle at the end of Act 2 where you need to get kicked out of a casino by fixing gambling matches. But in no way, shape, or form does the game ever indicate that you need to do any of those things. All you know is that Glottis is really drunk and is making sound effects, and you need to take him with you. So, of course, you would assume that you need to get kicked out of a casino.
I think the most charitable way I can describe this game is that it would make a great film.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
That is not a good thing.
I'm gonna have Jordan take direct control of a point and click soon. But if I ever show Jordan Grim Fandango, I'm not gonna make him play Grim Fandango. I'm gonna make him watch it because I think he'll be very into the story.
Yeah,
but,
you know what? This is a game is entirely carried by its vibes.
Yes,
you play it for the
vibes.
For the vibes. I don't always understand the meaning of that statement, but like Grim Fandango.
It's like I want, it's Casablanca, but with skeletons.
Oh, okay, I'm sold.
Strip searched at one point. That's a
Casablanca, but with Mexican skeletons. I mean, what's not to like? That's right, the puzzles.
Forklift.
Take the puzzles and Glottis out of this story, and it's one of the best things ever.
All right. Well, that's already a pretty solid pitch. So, I
was gonna pull. Hang on, I just wanted to say because I was curious what would happen if I typed in Grim Fandango. If I Google searched Grim Fandango F, first thing forklift.
Well,
second, finding a lawyer.
There is a cool puzzle in the beginning where you need to trick someone into signing a document, and you have to like play with like an automated voice recognition system, and that's pretty cool. But it just goes downhill from there.
Yeah.
Anyway, Yoot Tower.
I initially had this space prepared so that I could talk about the game Yoot Tower from 1998, but as you all know, I nominated this game because I literally had 0 additional options for wildcard for 1998. Nothing I'd played, nothing I was familiar with, nothing I could feasibly pitch. So
you could have put up Blue's Clues.
I know, but I didn't want to. So instead, I'd like to take this opportunity to talk about the evils of capitalism. Yeah, now you're all in here. This is not going to be very easy to get out of. What? In fact, it's very important to Yoot Tower's success, capitalism. Yoot Tower is the sequel to Sim Tower, which I talked about several Yearlies ago. And then I talked about how the developer Yoot Sato made the game himself, and it caught the eye of Maxis, who made it into a sim game on their own label. So why isn't it called Sim Tower 2? Well, Maxis decided that they didn't want to make a sequel to Sim Tower, and that they would keep the rights to the Sim Tower name so that Yoot wouldn't do it himself. So Yoot had to use his own name and make it independently from the original. And of course, Maxis says, well, not with us, you're not. So Yoot had to make this game with his own studio open book and through Sega. Wasn't that hard?
So
the original.
Yeah.
I mean, the original Tower was a hit when it was released for Sega Saturn in Japan. So in North America, Yoot Tower. Doesn't really have the same ring as Sim Tower, right? Sales aren't as good. There's no Tower 3. Blame capitalism. If Maxis had worked with the creatives, they'd been making Sim Tower games today, and The Sims would have been some underrated one-title classic. The other reason I bring up capitalism is that it's one of the main differences between Sim Tower and Yoot Tower's gameplay. In Yoot Tower, where you can do a lot of the same things in terms of making your own high-rises and adding shops and apartments and things, you can also rent out advertising space and make billboards for real companies. Apple, Sega, Air Jamaica, even Orange Julius. Product placements, people. because when Maxis isn't giving you the money, you have to get the funds somehow. It does actually add a fun extra dimension to the game because while you're personally benefiting from product integration, you're also encouraging the tenants and shoppers to consume those products and keep the circle of capitalism funneling towards you. Hey, what did I say about leaving?
Oh, sorry.
You fucking Reaganites. Anyway. Other important changes.
By the way, I have to say, he really was Kojima, because Kojima had to include product placement in Death Stranding.
Oh yeah.
I mean, some of the best games have product placement. Pikmin 2 was product placement.
Yeah, I watched someone play the remastered version without the product placement, and it feels desolate.
It's empty.
Yeah.
Soulless.
But yeah, there's some other changes from the original. This is 32-bit rather than 16, higher resolution, the first one, more variance in building shops. You can now choose what your shop sell and benefit directly from it. You can also build multiple towers and connect them via a skyway, like this is fucking Indianapolis. My favorite update from the original is that, like in Mini Metro, you can pick what city you build your tower in, and each city has a different difficulty level in terms of funds, height limits, and capability. The game starts off with a handful of locations like Tokyo, Hawaii, Keegan Falls, but the Japanese version sort of expansion pack and DLCs in the locations. The Statue of Liberty, Osaka, tie-in with fun Heisei Gamera movie. It's the Japanese equivalent of getting that Edie's ice cream themed after Godzilla in 1998. Similar to the first one, there was a Christmas-themed expansion, but where you build what is assumed to be Santa's workshop, while the big man in red can be seen walking around the tower. Yoot Tower made a lot of improvements upon the original and finds a lot of success without even needing the arm of Maxis giving them funding. Almost like creatives can get a lot done when they don't have CEOs telling them what to do. Yeah, it's great. Oh, one more thing. Crazy fun fact time. So in this game, you're also able to build your own movie theater in the tower and pick what movies you screen. You can also watch the movies, and they're little clips anywhere from 10 seconds to a minute of just crudely rendered film parodies, revoiced by American devs just trying their best. It is laughably wonderful. I'll send a video of all of them in the chat. They're awful, but they're amazing. That is Yoot Tower.
Do you think you can watch Grim Fandango?
If you wanted to.
If you watch it a minute at a time, sure.
Yeah. But yeah, that's the game. Any
Nah.
questions?
Can I leave now?
Yes, you can leave now.
Good, thank you. Where's the fucking door opening? Nope, that closes. Sorry, guys, I locked us in again.
Oh, don't worry. Hang on, I found it. There is just one issue.
Yeah.
The only door out is into Italy.
Crap. Okay, I'll get into the vents. Give me one.
Wait.
Robert.
It's okay, guys. I found like 17 more doors. Let's try them all one at a time.
Got this.
We all stepped on each other.
Wow, I can't believe we got locked in the clown horn factory.
This is an awkward moment to point out that this recording isn't going to pick up the soundboard sounds.
It's okay, we have my recording for it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's right.
Okay.
Yeah, that's right.
Guys, I found an exit.
All
It's just down this staircase.
We start the voting with Christian.
That timing was really good. I'm voting for Yoot Tower with much respect to forklifts.
Clanky.
Why? If anything, you should be less into forklifts.
Yeah, true. I'm not forklift certified, so I guess I don't have a say in this.
I'm voting for Yoot Tower.
Wow, thank you. Taylor.
I'm gonna still give it to the vibes of Grim Fandango. If it's vibes versus capitalism, I'm gonna go vibes.
I mean, good. Mick.
Come back to me.
Graham.
So I just wanted to point out, like, I looked at Tim Schafer's Wikipedia, and like he has like a list of all the games he's like worked on. And for Star Wars Episode 1 Razor, he's credited as never actively tried to sabotage the project. Anyway, I'm gonna vote for Grim Fandango.
All set up for you, Mick.
Yeah. So here's the thing. So I like the vibes of Grim Fandango. I also like capitalism, and I really appreciate Yoot's entrepreneurial spirit of going out and making the game regardless of whatever, because he's on the grind set. He's out there being a small businessman.
Where's the Soviet Union theme?
Reaganites.
What are you talking about? That's the opposite of that. Incidentally, Thief the Dark Project started out as a game in which you killed droves of communist zombies. It went through a lot of changes in its development. But I think I'm gonna give it to Yoot Tower, because Yoot Tower seems like it's a better game.
Wow.
We'll see Grim Fandango on the Phillies.
The time-old question: what is better, story or gameplay?
Well, if I'm talking about it as a game, it's important for a game to be good to play.
Yeah.
Listen, I can't. I'm not going to argue with you.
Yeah.
I'm just posing philosophical questions.
Yeah.
Tubby cake or tubby custard?
Hey, I was the one that brought up the experience machine earlier. Okay.
Oh my gosh! Wow, I didn't think that was going to work.
Yeah, all you had to do was lock us in here.
Yeah, that's get my captive audience. Round 6. Hey everybody, it's time for a grade school computer game.
Jesus Christ!
We have the Clue Finders 3rd grade adventures. Now, you would think that because 2 Yearlies ago that it would be a Taylor pick. No, wrong again. Mick put up this game.
But I'll tell you what, even though it's not a Taylor pick, it's going to do way better than a Taylor pick.
I hope not.
I don't know. And it's going up against. It's going up against F-Zero X. Now you would think that because Clanky often puts up F-Zero games that he would put this up. Well, he did. That one's kind of predictable. Christian also nominated it. Who would like to go first?
Wow.
Can I go? So I left off. So yeah, I just realized I left off the subtitle for this game: Clue Finders 3rd Grade Adventures: The Mystery of Mathra.
Oh, okay, I'm sold.
So this is the first game in the Clue Finder series, published by made by the Learning Company. It is basically considered sort of a. This is the series that picks up where Rita Rabbit leaves off.
Okay.
So, like, the Rita Rabbit series is designed largely from, like, preschool to around 2nd grade. The Clue Finder series is the Learning Company targeting 3rd graders, 4th graders, and up for a bit.
Way to bring Rita Rabbit into this.
I can't believe F-Zero is going to lose.
Anyway, so they're a series of point-and-click adventure games, but like point-and-click adventure edutainment games. Where you're all the puzzles you have to solve are based on math, English, grammar, and the subjects you would learn that are important for you to learn in 3rd grade. The premise of the game is you control members of the Clue Finders, who are a group of child private investigators. Is the best way I can describe them. The premise of this game is that there was 1,000 years ago, deep in a rainforest, there was a civilization known as the Numerians, who built a great city until a giant draconic monster named Mathra attacked. The Numerians managed to trap Mathra in the city and sealed the entrance and hid the 2 keys to the entrance in different halves of the rainforest. A group of archaeologists led by one Dr. Pythagoras are going through the ruins when suddenly Mathra escapes and attacks. Although there seems to be more than meets the eye, there's a bit of a mystery on our hands about whether it's the real Mathra.
It's too good of a hint. Now I'm gonna go into the entire story thinking that it's not the real Mathra.
Yeah, the Clue Finders are on the case to try and find where Mathra kidnaps Dr. Pythagoras, and so the Clue Finders go out and try and find what happened to him. The game is made up of there's 7 puzzles based on logic, 2 for geography, 4 of science, and then 2 for language arts. And the game is split into 3 main areas. One is the Numerian city, and the other are two different regions of the rainforest. One is the Goo Lagoon, and the other is the Monkey Kingdom. Now,
Goo Lagoon.
I played this for a few people. Clanky, would you like to describe your experience of encountering the folks in the Goo Lagoon?
Oh, but of course! One of my favorite characters in this whole game are the 4 flowers that talk to you, and each represent a member of the Beatles.
Yeah, because Goo Lagoon, Goo Lagoon is
really, really good.
Yeah, Goo Lagoon is filled with puddles, and so naturally they're all Liverpudlians. And
so good, dude.
And
so good.
here's the thing that we didn't get to. You pick the right path, you go to Goo Lagoon, and you meet everyone there has British accents, and they're Liverpudlians, and there's the Beatles, and they sing Beatles-esque music. What do you guys think is in the Monkey Kingdom?
Yeah, you made me guess this for a while, but you didn't give me the answer.
Is it the monkeys?
Is it the monkeys?
Fucking
You're telling me.
hilarious.
Hold on. You're telling me that there's a Peter Tork monkey in this game that I
It's
did not
much
know
more.
about?
It's much more subtle, but it's very heavily implied because the monkeys also have a band, and sing songs.
Nick, can I just share something? When Mick told me that he wouldn't tell me exactly what it is, he said to me, "Taylor, there's no way you don't know this." I said, "Mick, you'd be really surprised." I'm like, "No, Taylor, you're gonna get it. I promise you." Mick, I don't get it.
What I said was, you've at least heard a cover of a song by this band, and you have. I know because you've seen Shrek.
Yeah, we all.
Yeah. Are you sure?
Yes, I'm sure.
Okay, what song?
I'm a believer.
I'm a believer.
I thought love was only true in fairy
do
tales.
love I'm a Believer. I do really like I'm a Believer.
That's by the Monkeys.
Crazy, the thing that's crazy is that, like, I got really into the Monkeys last year.
I remember.
They're a great band.
I listened to, like, most of their discography. Dude, Head might be one of the best albums ever made. I'm not even exaggerating when I say that.
It's not a great movie.
I speak nothing on the movie. I'm talking solely on the album.
Yeah,
the album's pretty cool.
But yeah, point being, it's a fun game with a bunch of it's fun for what it is, and actually going back and playing it, like even though it's, you know, 3rd grade stuff, there is kind of a fun to doing it, even though the puzzles are really, like, they're dirt easy for me, and probably
just
for
Mick,
most.
though.
No, they'd be dirt easy for you.
I was there, Mick.
Oh, I was there.
I was there when the strength of men failed.
But anyway, yeah. That's all I can really say. I mean, I've kind of juiced it. It's a game where you do math and logic puzzles for 3rd graders.
I mean, look, I do that for.
But they do it in a very fun way with a fun story and a lot of humongous entertainment-esque shenanigans.
It's point and click.
Yeah.
Clanky.
Okay. F-Zero.
Clanky.
Yes.
Is it okay if I give a very quick preamble about F-Zero X and then you can literally take over everything after that?
I can certainly try.
Okay, so when I say quick preamble, of course, you know, in the spirit of F-Zero X. Yeah.
Hey, Jordan, can you put on a 5 minutes later and then just skip Christian's pitch?
With F-Zero X, in the spirit of F-Zero X, I'm going to go through my preamble as quickly as possible. It is a fast game, after all. So,
this is a bit.
Feel free to time me, Jordan. The hyper-fast racing is I love every stage. You can utilize the 3 dimensions, the N64 so perfectly, and they use the descriptions of viewers a wave or a slug, a pin cylinder. Each stage of the zipping.
I'll never see my kids again.
You go so far to you know exactly what the right place. These things are all time ascending. You're doing the best, and it's the permanent death. You do it then in the game. I think I'm trying to get so hardcore. This week, I think you equals out the ability to speed up on the track. It's amazing when the implementers speed are unlocked with 1 pixel another release coming out. I was a Pico made in the big ass car stuck, but I was loved it. There's a battle royale mode. It's some amazing music too with a rock soundtrack goes over. It might be one of the random scenes where I do give him it's easy for us a Rainbow Road in it.
I'm a scat man.
So that'll be a wine glass with vermouth, orange slices, and and some milk,
and mint leaves.
Wait a minute. Were there 3 Z's in there? We gotta double check.
Did no one else get scat vibes from that?
I got incomprehensible vibes from it.
Well, yeah,
anyway,
that's what
Clanky, you
scatting
can
is.
now interpret for me.
So, I know it's very rich, right? I'm the N64 hater, right? This isn't a secret at this point, right? F-Zero X might be the best F-Zero game.
Wait, you hate the N64?
No, yeah, I know, right? I'm shocked and appalled.
But aren't you a spider person with 3 arms? It was made for you.
Right, right. I forgot about that.
I think we've done this joke like 7 times.
Clanky got the extra arm that I lost.
Oh, man. I was thinking of like 5 different places to take the bit, but instead I'm just going to choose to move on. So F-Zero X is is the sequel to F-Zero, which is the fast-paced racing game from the Super Nintendo. This game manages to take what F-Zero originally did and expands it like 20-fold. There's so many different new stages, one of my favorites being Big Hand, which, as the name implies, is just the shape of a fucking hand, dude. It's so funny. You also have Rainbow Road, which, even though I'm not the biggest fan of the N64 Mario Kart Rainbow Road, it literally is that Rainbow Road, except put in an F-Zero map, and it works so much better in an F-Zero game because you're actually moving through the course and it doesn't take 6 fucking minutes to beat the map. The other thing is that the roster is expanded like crazy. You have quite the colorful cast of characters like Baba, Octoman, Dr. Clash, and my favorite, I don't main him, I just like his aura. You have Mr. Ead, or Mr. EAD. He looks like a giant fucking egg, and as his name implies, the body strength of his vehicle is E, the boost strength of his vehicle is A, and the grip strength of his vehicle is D. Now, you might be saying to yourself, Clanky, what the fuck is grip strength? Well, in this game, because it utilizes...
Graham, Jordan, not a word.
That's what they use the big hand for. Anyway, that's the grip strength in this game is how well you cling on to the map itself, because there are moments where the road stops becoming it stops becoming a flat road and it starts becoming like a cylinder that you can drive on every side of. And let me just say, it's very easy to get knocked off of that if you're not paying attention. This game is tough. I was able to beat all of the Grand Prix on easy, but once I moved on, or like Jack Cup, I think it's called. Oh my god, it keeps getting worse and worse. It keeps getting worse and worse.
Is it? I was curious because I know that GX is like the infamously most impossible game ever in the terms of racing. I thought X had the balance nailed.
I don't think so.
X is easier, but that does not mean it is easy. I tried going to the Queen difficulty, I fucking forget if that's the name of the cups or the difficulty. I honestly don't remember.
Well, difficulty's intermediate, expert.
Okay, got it. Yeah. So then, I was able to beat all of the cups just fine, but once I had to get to the once I raised the difficulty to something respectable, I couldn't do it. I was able to beat the Jack Cup, and that was it. I couldn't beat Queen or whatever. This game also has, I believe it's called the X Cup, right? Am I saying that right?
I think isn't the X Cup is that all of the cups, or is that secret cups from the DD expansion?
Isn't that the randomly generated one?
I was just about to get to that. Yeah. So the X Cups at the end of each thing are randomly generated courses, and you'd think that it wouldn't work, but somehow it does. It's interesting because you can never go into the X Cup knowing what to expect, and I think that is a really interesting way to approach a racing game. However, that does mean that the course designs aren't as inspired as some of the other things, like Big Hand.
I love Big Hand. And Rainbow Road is in this game, and they play a rock remix of... It is modeled exactly like Mario Kart 64's Rainbow Road, and they play a remix of the song on the guitar.
Yeah. I also love how Big Hand's subtitle is Deadly Curves. This game is not... It's not escaping the allegations. I know Jordan and Graham are going to explode at this point, so...
Going to?
Ooh, mommy.
That's my secret, Clanky. I've been exploding this whole time!
Why else do you think I'm muted?
I would have loved...
You all are freaks.
I would have loved if after Graham said that, he exploded.
Jordan, can you edit in the sound of an explosion? Joke's on you, I already am!
Yes.
And edited in this footage from SpongeBob of the Bikini Atoll nuclear test.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So despite this game's shortcomings, despite the fact that it is a pretty damn difficult game, I can't fucking say anything. I understand. Despite the fact that this game doesn't do everything right, I have to say this was the game that really cemented me as an F-Zero fan. I really fucking love this game. It's crazy how much I got into this game when I first started playing it. Mr. Eid for life.
Do you think that if you went back to it, you could beat higher difficulties now?
I think if you put me in a bubble where time did not proceed, then I would feasibly be able to do it. I think the problem is when I'm playing F-Zero X, it's like, could I beat the Queen Cup if I really put the time into it? I'm sure I could, but I have so many fucking games I want to play that if I've already experienced every cup of this game, even if it was at an easier difficulty, I can at least say I experienced the whole game. You know what I mean?
Let's say I gave you 30 hours.
If you gave me 30 hours, I could probably beat it everything on at least the middle of the road difficulty. I don't know if I could do expert with 30 hours, but I maybe if I really put my mind to it. But
that's the argument I made for myself in GX, that unless I sit down and spend 30 hours, then I'm just not going to make any progress, and I wanted to move on.
GX is apparently no one's ever beaten it.
That's historically untrue.
Well, all right. So we start the vote with Christian.
So, like I said in my pitch, F-Zero X is an incredibly nostalgic game for me, and is honestly one of my favorite games on the N64, just because of how much time I spent on it when I was young and playing racing games. Shit, I dropped something on my keyboard.
No, you don't get to hang on. You don't get to do the whole pitch now.
No, I'm just reiterating some things I said. So when I used to play racing games, I used to play in the time trials a lot, and that's why I end up loving the courses and the music and Big Blue and all that sorts of stuff. And in fact, the nostalgia for this is so strong that I still have the cartridge from when this is the only original N64 cartridge I had back when I had my N64. It's old as hell. It's got one of those labels that people put to categorize their games on top of it. Everything's reversed, by the way. I don't know why. It's dirty as hell. It's used. This was used when I got it, by the way.
Same.
It's the only N64.
I thought you were gonna throw it.
Yeah.
No. This thing's a treasure. It is the only cartridge from my original N64 that I still have. And I fucking love this game. I'm voting for F-Zero X.
Okay.
I mean, I did just repeat everything I said earlier, but figured it.
In a large fry.
In a large.
Clanky.
F-Zero X is the game that I am betting for on this bracket. I don't think it's going to do very well, I'm being honest with you.
If it loses this fucking round.
We have such heavy hitters like Clue Finders, Third Grade Adventure.
Mikey, I want you to know.
Stop Mr. Domino and Sega Bass Fishing and Freddi Fish 3, The Case of Freddi Fish 3.
Hey.
Freddi Fish 3 is great.
And so is Sega Bass Fishing.
Yeah, sorry.
Stop putting your own fish game above our fish games.
Fish in this bracket, catching strays.
There's plenty of fish games in the sea.
I want to say, though, Clanky, your enthusiasm for Clue Finder's Third Grade Adventure was so extreme that Mick refused to stream it unless you were there.
Oh, well, that's really sweet, and I'm sorry I couldn't be there.
Oh, don't worry, there's more time.
Oh, thank God.
The game goes on.
I can still play it.
I put bombs beneath all of your chairs.
Jordan, make Ram explode.
Oh, I was just going to do this.
Oh, Jordan can make me explode.
Yes, exactly.
There we go.
Taylor.
Of course.
Just annoys you now.
If I grew up with the Clue Finders Third Grade Adventure, I have no doubt I would be voting for it right now, because based on what I saw, it looks immediately like one of the games I could have grown up with and loved, but I didn't grow up with it. And F-Zero is pretty rad, and I really respect the idea that they made a pornographic F-Zero game.
No, that's XXX.
That's what the X Cup is for.
No, that's a movie starring Vin Diesel.
Oh yeah.
We all had different impressions of that bit.
Yeah.
Surprised they let me play it when I was a kid. Rating systems back then were
tell you
crazy.
that you go in the car and talk to each other.
They go into little fucking F-Zero car.
I'm going for Third Grade Adventures, which, like, again, this is not like a... I mean, as a game to go back to, I mean, it's a great game to go back to if you've played it, because, you know, nostalgia, and it's like, hey, I get to experience this again, and I realize, oh, that's where that memory is from.
A core memory.
Yeah, exactly. This is not... F-Zero X is probably fun to play as someone who is, you know...
Someone who hates Mario Kart.
No. As in, it's something that'd be fun for someone who isn't, you know, at a third grade reading level.
Excuse me, I loved this game when I was in second. Before second grade.
I didn't. Hang on. Do not twist my words. I said that this game is a game that would be fun for someone who is not. This is a game that would. F-Zero X would be fun for someone who is not at a third grade reading level. Not that someone who isn't at a third grade reading level wouldn't be able to find it fun. It's just that, like, you could still enjoy it now in a way that you can't really enjoy third grade adventures as it's meant to be played.
Fair.
Like, there's really there's a 1 year worth of target audience for this game, and either side of that, it's I mean, yeah. So it's fun to go back. It was fun to go back to for me, but that's because I played it as a kid.
Clanky never played it, and he was having a blast.
That wasn't really with the game, though. Well, let's be honest here. That was because of the vibes.
Dude, once I saw that fucking flower with John Lennon glasses, I was like, it's over. It's fucking over.
Oh, yeah, and the George Harrison flower doesn't fucking speak. He just
plays the fucking sitar. It's so good.
His lawyer must have complained. And Graham.
You know, I actually did play Clue Finders, but I played Clue Finders 4th grade.
Oh, that's the... No, wait.
Whichever the Egyptian one.
Yeah, that was either 4th grade or 5th grade. I think it was 4th grade, though.
Mm.
Hey, Mick, have you ever noticed that when we have nostalgia for something with 3 in it, Graham has played the 4 iteration of that thing?
What an odd pattern.
Like, I love Freddi Fish 3, he loves Freddi Fish 4, you love Clue Finders 3rd grade, he loves Clue Finders 4th grade.
Are there any other examples?
Well, no,
Probably
but it's
more.
weird that it happened twice.
Yeah.
What are you voting for, Graham?
F-Zero X.
Okay.
F-Zero Extreme.
Donkey Kong Jr. Math.
Ninja Gaiden 1, Ninja
Ninja
Gaiden
Gaiden 2, Ninja Gaiden 3.
Okay. Round 7. One I'm actually really excited for. It's Resident Evil 2, submitted by Graham, going up against Glover. And, you know, I genuinely have no idea who put Glover up. There's nobody here who often talks about how much they love
and I'll pitch Glover.
Taylor did it. He put it up.
Okay. Starting the timer and go.
All right, so Glover is about this ascot named Charlie, and he goes on this adventure into magical menagerie John Lennon land. And there, he tries to put menageries on top of all of the people, and they are very ungrateful for him because he is actually a cravat, which is another piece of clothing. And this is a story that preaches the idea that clothes should have human rights. So it's like Kill a Kill, but stupider. And the problem with this is that I'm making it up and didn't have a bit planned for this at all.
I knew it. I fucking knew it. I was like,
I just don't want Christian to pitch Glover because
I'm gonna let him
where
go.
do we go?
Let him go, and I'm gonna see what he's gonna do to
All right,
stall.
so continuing on, Glover meets Woody, and he and Sheen from Jimmy Neutron.
Graham, you can stop this at any point. It's up to you.
And
why would I?
And he decides.
It's a good pitch.
He decides that why are we not better friends? We both. You like toys, and I am a toy.
What if we're gonna put up for this?
They went to lunch.
And so, basically,
this game's weird.
Glover and Woody, and Glover is here now. Glover was always there in the background.
Taylor, this game sucks balls.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm voting for Resident Evil 2.
All right. And then they all commit Mr. Domino.
All right, Graham. Do you what order do you prefer, Graham?
Hey, Graham, did you play Resident Evil 2?
Chaos.
I did.
Control.
I did play the original version. I have played the original version of Resident Evil 2.
Is Resident Evil 2 the one with the police station?
Yes.
Okay, I played it in a Left 4 Dead 2 map.
Which is how you also play Resident Evil 1.
Yeah, exactly.
It's the one with the liquors.
No, Resident Evil 2 was obviously the sequel to Resident Evil 1. It was this was directed by one Hideki Kamiya, who the Game Awards, as we're saying, this has not been released, but I'm going to predict that Hideki Kamiya will be announced to be doing the new Okami sequel.
What are you lying?
No.
Do you really think they would make an Okami sequel, Graham?
I think they would. I'm going to predict that Hideki Kamiya is going to make it.
Graham,
Graham,
that's as likely as the Yakuza devs coming up with a new IP. Okay.
Or Turok coming back.
Next year,
There's
tell
no
me
way
that
Turok.
Jeff Keighley cries 5 times.
We did this in late December.
Next, you're gonna say there's an Onimusha game? Like, come on, Graham, get real.
Yeah.
Don't make me crack the stay on target whip.
I'll eat it.
In fact, I'm gonna just do this.
Yeah. Resident Evil 2 is like I do strongly believe that there is merit to the old controls and the old design of Resident Evil 2. I think it adds something that isn't quite there like in the remake, even though the remakes are still good. I think both of these stand on their own. And I think you can have a good time playing this. But also, I care. Christian cares about Glover a lot more than I care about Resident Evil 2, so I'm going to give the floor to Christian.
I like floors, as I expressed earlier. So yeah, as insinuated by everyone else here in this call, Glover is synonymous with me. I did not prepare any bits for this. I did not write any scripts or any notes. I'm going to go into this completely genuine and raw. And if it's a shitty pitch, then whatever. It doesn't really matter. Glover is an N64 game by Hasbro Interactive. Came out around this time. It was their attempt to get into the mascot platforming craze that was going on around this time with Croc and Gex and others. And you in this game play as a glove that is a part of a set of 2 gloves attached to a wizard, and the wizard fucks up something and kills himself, and both of your gloves are launched out of the wizard, and you get launched out of the castle, and oh god, I've never explained this plot out loud before. The castle is held by these crystals, but the crystals get launched off, so you turn them into bouncy balls, and they bounce into six different worlds. I think it's 7 or 6. And then the other hand goes into a pot of goo and comes out as Cross-Stitch, the main evil bad guy of this game. It doesn't matter. I just thought it was funny to go into the story. This game is a 3D platformer where you control Glover and hop through a number of different worlds themed after one-word descriptions of locations, such as Atlantis-themed levels, circus-themed levels, and pirate-themed levels. Every level feels super-duper distinct and have, like, completely different color schemes to them, and different, like, the level layouts are surprisingly fun to navigate because of how striking each of them are. I especially have to point out the pirate levels, because I love how one of them is sort of like the pirate's lagoon. You start off, but then you go into this weird pirate jungle with anthropomorphic knives, and then at the end you go into a shanty town and there's a song with seagulls screaming at you. It's great. The thing is, this is not just a 3D platformer, this is a 3D puzzle platformer. Glover himself controls very, very similarly to a lot of other mascot platformers. However, getting to the end of a level, a toddler can do it. Like a baby, an infant child with tiny fingers can beat a level in this game. It's just Glover. You have to carry around the old ball and chain, aka the stupid fucking bouncy ball at the beginning of every single level. This ball is way, way harder to control than the player. And you have to grab onto this ball and dribble it around and throw it around all over the place, dealing with very slippery controls, navigating a level that was at once really easy and is now quite difficult. And you have to be insanely precise to get used to the physics of the bouncing ball. Luckily enough, you can transform the ball into a different number of forms. Bowling balls are good for breaking walls and defeating enemies, and you can turn it into a tiny little aluminum ball, which I like to use to go underwater. And if you really feel like flexing your Glover physics skills, you can turn it into a crystal ball, where if you breathe on it heavy enough, it'll shatter into a million pieces. This mechanic is fun. I quite like this idea of having to use bouncing ball physics to navigate a 3D level environment. I think it's a really neat idea. But what really sticks out to me about Glover, besides the fact that this is a very nostalgic game for me, but I think a lot of what makes Glover work for me is some of the design decisions. This game is a game that really embodies the term liminal. There's a very heavy fog of draw distance, and a lot of the maps are made out of these incredibly simplistic primitives, and it really makes you feel like you are walking through a tech demo in a way. But it feels mystical when you're walking through these simple environments that have no attachments to any form of anything you would see on Earth. And when you're going through Atlantis and all you can see is the blue fog enveloping a lot of the area while a actually incredible soundtrack is playing in the background. Like, this is one of the best soundtracks I've heard. And it's because the loops of the songs are so ridiculously long. Like, a song will have like 5 minutes of unique music before it starts to loop again, and it's Atlantis 3, Circus 3, Pirate 3, a lot of the level 3s have just outright incredible music. It's so good. All of that is really, really seminal to the mood as you go through these levels. And on top of that, there's a lot of other interesting quirks about this game. You can find mounts that you can take control of. There is a walking anthropomorphic knife with a handle that you can grab and start walking around with, and you just knife enemies. It's great. There is a beanbag that will hop around, and then you grab onto the beanbag and hop around it like the testicles in that one South Park episode. There is there is a boss fight where you take control of a giant robot and fight another giant robot in a fucking mech battle because your glove character is operating a joystick. There's a lot of really cute things in this game. That potions that change your ball into like giant parachute balls or allow you to get a propeller on your head and fly around. And it's a lot of what I'm saying though is not really that dissimilar to a lot of mascot platformers. It is with Glover's own sense of stringent nostalgia that has entered my brain, all because I thought the cover of the game, all because I thought that the cover for this game was so cool that I just had to play it. I just had to play it, and now I own a lot of copies of this game. Right now I'm holding 2 of these. Thank you, Clanky and Genie, for getting me one of these literally every single year. I don't have the original one that I used to own, but I do have these 2.
And you have another waiting in my car for me to give you when I see you again.
And I'm still trying to find the one that I had when I was living with Mick when I had the Glover cartridge on top of his PS4. But yeah, this stupid box art is the reason why I bought this game and why I decided to play it so much. And even though
it's like a bass fishing.
And even though it really is a game whose most remarkable point is a very slippery, hard to control bouncy ball, it is a very cozy experience that I can go back to at any point.
Well, that was nice. I'm glad it wasn't like Doom where we had to literally pry you away from the pitch.
I don't know how long it was. I wasn't timing myself on that one.
No, you were manageable. Okay.
I think the thing is we didn't pry him away. We just let him go on and on.
Because we're nice people.
Let him have this.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh no, for Doom specifically.
Oh yeah.
When Doom, he got like into the fugue state.
Yeah, I guess I like this game more than Doom, but Doom also tricked my math brain into having a moment. So.
Jordan, pull up the part earlier where he says I hate math.
Dude, I hate numbers.
And
True.
All right, we start the vote with Christian.
I won't feel awful if Glover doesn't do very well. It's actually kind of a meme to bully this game. And I'm not going to sit here and say it's a fucking masterpiece, right? But I can also probably hum to you every single song in the entire game, all 5 minutes of every single loop, and probably draw out the maps of every single level as well. And every single game idea that I have had since I started playing this game has in some way been inspired by Glover. So sometimes the only thing that matters is who gets there first, and Glover got to be first, so I'm voting for it.
Cool. Clanky.
Yeah, I've bought this game more than I care to admit.
For himself, clearly. He just loves the game so much.
Yeah, I've never played it. Never fucking touched this game once. Well, I have touched it. Let's make it very clear. I have touched the game, never played it. The thing is that like I really like the idea of. I always forget. I think you said it before. Is it Nemesis or Mr. X that's in Resident Evil?
Mr. X is 2, Nemesis is 3.
Yeah.
Thank you. I'm pretty sure you said it before. My mistake.
Mr. X gonna get.
Yeah, I think I think that the idea of a big fucker just following you around the whole game is very interesting, and I imagine that if Resident Evil 2, like the original, controlled better, I'd probably like instantly jump at the idea of playing it. But for right now, I am going to give it to Glover. After all, I have spent over probably $100 on this game at this point.
Also, your favorite F-Zero course is Big Hands.
So true, and Glover is a hand.
Glover is a hand.
Taylor.
Christian, are you listening to me?
Don't you fucking start.
I vote for
You
Glover.
are not going to convince me that I hate this game.
I vote for Glover.
You fucking bet you do.
What did you think was about to happen?
None of your fucking business.
You presumptuous bitch.
Hey, not over
I'll
Glover.
throw hands. I'll throw hands.
Throw gloves.
I'll throw gloves.
Oh, he got me there.
Mwah. I love you.
I slapped you with a glove.
They slap you with the glove. Sometimes the glove hurts a little bit, but I think like
I am a tiny glove.
I am
Glover is my name. I am a tiny glove.
It's like
I bounced the bouncy ball.
Nintendo 64.
Then the Google song happens, but it's just the glove. Google is my name. I am a glove.
And then he just stares at you for 30 minutes.
Is my turn to vote?
Yes.
I'm giving it to Glover.
What you thinking, Graham?
Graham.
With all due love and respect to John Glover, I'm going to give it to Resident Evil 2. Or
I think you mean John Resident Evil 2.
No, the actor John Glover.
Yeah, he's
John
great.
Glover.
Great in
I'm
Gremlins too.
going to be honest. I thought Glover was going to be the only one that got a 5-0.
This is the only
Graham wouldn't vote for Glover.
group of people that would allow something like that for Glover.
Let me ask you something. Why wouldn't Graham vote for Glover?
Because
Graham?
it'd be funny, and it's the thing we all want to happen, and so Graham needs to undercut it.
I think Glover kind of oversees the idea of just
No.
doing it for funny.
Not for Graham.
No.
In the words of him in 1996, he's
I
not
am-
funny.
I am chained to the bit.
Jordan, make Graham explode.
Finally.
It's like
Round eight.
that meme of Dr. Manhattan pointing and it just points
Yes.
right at Graham.
Jordan looks
Rorschach,
at Graham, so sad Steve Jobs died of ligma.
Who's Steve Jobs? Lick my balls.
I mean, what use are editors anyway?
Here's a joke about video editors.
Look at my balls.
All right, round 8. A true turning point in gaming with this one, Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, which is a Taylor pick, versus the only logical opponent for a revolutionary game like Ocarina of Time, LST Dream Emulator, submitted by the most straight-edge member of the Yearlies, proud member of his school's DARE program, who was once quoted in saying recreational drugs are for bunguses. That's right, your friend Christian last name.
I did say that.
I mean, I can go or Christian can go, right? Basically.
I can talk about either of these games, admittedly, but it's up to you, Taylor.
This is funny enough. I think this is the Yearlies that I played the least amount of games. I only had 6 games that I played. Ocarina is the last game I got. I mean, look, I said it at the beginning. Whoever goes first loses. So,
all right, I'll go first then for Dream Emulator.
I already know Mick is voting for LSD Dream Emulator. I'm not even sure he knows what it is. But I know he's voting.
I played it before, actually.
I mean, it's Ocarina of Time. Like,
I mean, I'll have things to say about Ocarina as well, but I could start with. I
have things to say about Ocarina as well.
Yes. I hear sassy Clanky.
All right, so I suppose I'll start with Legend of Zelda Dream Emulator.
Yes. Go.
So LSD Dream Emulator. Do you guys remember what's his fucking Lost Soul? The what is it? Eastern Mind, the Lost Souls of Tong No?
Yes.
Nope. Thanks for coming, everyone. Beers are in the fridge.
The next game by Osamu Sato, and this is the one that people actually know and the one that people actually care about. This game is essentially a conceptually interactive dream journal based off of, I believe it says here, one of the Asmic Ace employees, which is the people who would develop the game. This is a dream journal where it is a PlayStation 1 game where you basically just first person navigate a whole bunch of environments. You don't have guns, weapons, hands, anything. You just sort of walk around. And you walk around these environments like a house and a lawn or tunnels or highways or environments of which are completely inexplicable and undescribable. For instance, maybe you'll see this thing. Who knows? I found this on Wikipedia right now. And you'll walk around and explore these environments, and if you touch anything in the environments, you will immediately be teleported in a massive white flash to another environment that looks completely different. Every single environment that you find in this game looks different, has different music, different footstep sound effects, different creatures and moving entities, and every single environment in this game pushes an overarching dial of a graph of rankings of your dream. Now, I don't remember the exact specifics of the dream graph, but your goal is basically to fill out your dream graph with every single type of dream that you can possibly have. Bad dreams or good dreams. And depending on which worlds you visit will determine whether you have a bad dream or a good dream. You can accidentally find yourself spiraling into these desolate, empty, dark cities with people hanging from the street lamps, and it's like, this is a bad dream. And then you will wake up and the game will tell you that you had a bad dream. But your goal is to fill out the entire graph of dreams, but that's not the goal. Who gives a fuck about any of that? Nobody gives a shit about the stupid-ass fucking dream graph. Everyone who plays this game wants to see what's in the worlds. They want to see what kind of weird fucking abominations are going to be appearing inside of all these different locations. You walk down a hallway and you look left and there's a giant guy peeking through the window who sticks his face into you and teleports you into a fucking tunnel of no return. But on each side of the tunnel are giant faces with open mouths with a sky bridge connecting them. So you go into one of the giant faces and you enter a sumo wrestling arena where two heads with arms bounce into each other. And then you touch one of the heads with arms and it takes you into the same house as earlier, but all of the tiles of the house have been replaced with photographs of someone's faces with the eyes crossed out. And that same giant is there, but he looks like he's bugged out on coke and he still sticks his head into you just like last time. He's a kidder. Always loved that guy. And then this is the game. It goes on a bit like this. I don't, oftentimes when I talk about weird games, I very often try to attribute some sort of deeper meaning to this sort of thing. Like, this is why this thing was created. And I didn't do as much research for this game as I wanted to. This Yearlies kind of crept up on me. I didn't do as much research into this game as I wanted to. But I feel like this game really doesn't need research because this really is the quintessential token best example of a game that is weird for weird's sake because it is based off dreams. They don't make sense. This game is not designed to make sense. It is a museum that you walk through, and you get to see a whole bunch of funny PS1 abominations do their thing, and it is very likely that every single time you play this game, something that you have never seen before is going to happen. Also, what I really like about this game is that every now and then when you go to start up a new dream, instead it will just play a video, and then the dream will end. It's really weird, and the videos, as you would expect, also do not make sense. It is a pivotal corner of weird games, I would say. One of the most important weird games.
Okay. And then we have Ocarina of Time.
Ocarina of Time's overrated.
Yes!
Yes!
Why is this the only Zelda game I beat?
I'm getting that out of the way because I know we're all thinking it. Not everyone outside of the Yearlies. In fact, the fact that you two supported that is probably going to piss our one viewer off. I'm imagining he's a Zelda fan.
Hey Ma, they're making fun of.
We gotta turn this shit off.
But I need to stand by the fact that even though I think it is overrated, I still think it's really good. It's vanilla. It's 3D Zelda, and 3D Zelda is pretty hard to fuck up, in my opinion. So, I'm going to talk about what I think makes Ocarina of Time good today. It's a 9-dungeon adventure, which is a very healthy amount of dungeons. I think only Twilight Princess matches that in terms of dungeon count, and a lot of them are quite good, like the Forest Temple. Some of them are not good, like Jabu Jabu's Belly, and Jabu Jabu's Belly, and Jabu Jabu's Belly.
It does suck.
Yeah, but the Forest Temple's pretty good. The Spirit Temple, the Shadow Temple's neat. Fire Temple's okay. I know people don't like the Water Temple, but they just don't like the menu navigation. The Water Temple itself is actually fine.
On the 3DS version, it's way
better. That's the thing. Once you play it on 3DS, you're like, oh, this dungeon doesn't suck. The N64's.
Wait, hold on. Chat, can we replay that one? Can we clip that?
Oh, I've done that like 7 times since we revealed your 64 lore. The bosses, I think, are still great. I feel like this game really introduced the pattern recognition, item exploiting boss fight shenanigans that like later Zelda games would take on in just a better form. That all started here, and as a result, I do think we have some really good boss fights. I also think that Hyrule itself has a very whimsical, mysterious nature that I admired in Link to the Past through the music, the day and night system. I really like. Grant was talking about Final Fantasy VII and the rendered backgrounds, and I actually really like how the Sanctuary is rendered in this game. I always got this like looming foreboding presence to it, even though it's just very clearly like, I don't know, is it like a real thing just plastered onto a background?
Sanctuary?
The Sanctuary, the Temple of Time.
Oh yes, no, that's like rendered.
Yeah. I don't know, but it's a render that I've always liked. And what I really like is the juxtaposition of how when you go to Castletown as a kid, it's this bustling city. But then when you get older, the town becomes a re-dead graveyard, and the Temple of Time's got this looming, foreboding atmosphere. And I find the switch of that really cool. This is also the first game I got the Master Sword in, and that felt appropriately epic. I really, really did feel like this sword was always hyped up to be this amazing thing, and I really did like drawing it in. And then, you fast forward 7 years into the future, and that's pretty neat at the time. Like, oh, you're Kid Link, you're Adult Link. I like all that. Saria's song, fucking banger. Zelda's Lullaby was introduced here. Less of a banger, but still pretty good all the same. Outside of that, it's a Zelda adventure. There's water. Any part of this game that has water just sucks. Honestly,
water in your space.
Yeah. And if you don't know what to do, there can be a bit of, where the fuck do I go games. You got Navi to kind of help.
Sorry. Sorry, you brought up not knowing where to go, and I just remembered, the 3DS version also has the Sheikah Stones, which tell you where to go, because I gotta tell you that I, many times, did not know where to go.
You're totally right.
Yeah, the thing is, this is really the only Zelda game where I will be able to offer any modicum of actual commentary, because this is the only Zelda game I ever beat.
We're just about out of years, so we've talked about most of the Zelda games.
Yeah, we finally fucking made it, and it's also the only Zelda game I've ever played any significant amount of, and I actually quite like this game. As someone who has not been that much a part of the Ocarina of Time is overrated discourse and has not really played any other Zelda game, I find that this game is standalone in a vacuum. Does a lot of things quite well. I'm also the loser who played the 3DS version, so I don't know.
Here's the thing, though, Christian. The 3DS version is infinitely better, and honestly, I probably wouldn't even put the game on here if I didn't play the 3DS version. Obviously, I mean, the differences are not extreme enough that I don't think you can't count the 3DS version. I am for the sake of argument. But
I kind of count it because the only one I played, but...
Yeah, no, the 3DS version fixed every problem I have with Ocarina of Time and is the reason that, I beat it at all. But, look, everyone's going to sit here and be like, Z-targeting. Yeah, okay, great. This game had a lock-on feature. All right, but,
Z-targeting's fun. I think it's fun. I like the combat against the lizards and the Stalfos. I think the Stalfos were really fun for a first Zelda experience that actually challenged me. The Forest Temple is peak. And I actually like the Fire Temple and the Shadow Temple. I think those are really fun. I love how scary the Shadow Temple is. I love the dead hands. And I actually really like the boss fights in this game. Especially Twinrova, Ganon, obviously, Phantom Ganon.
Everyone loves Phantom Ganon.
Everyone loves Phantom Ganon.
I think what's interesting about this Zelda game in particular is that, like, people will say that, like, Link to the Past is a bog standard Zelda game, and to me, Ocarina of Time is the bog standard Zelda game. This is like
bog standard.
Like the most typical, when you think of a Zelda game, you think of Ocarina of Time because it has all the tropes that you would expect of a Zelda game. And I think that Ocarina definitely deserves some credit for basically establishing what 3D Zelda is and doing a really good job of establishing that for the first go around of a 3D Zelda game. I just think that maybe besides Twilight Princess, I think every other 3D Zelda games run circles around this because they all dare to be unique. I think that
So here's a little twist, is that I'm actually going to step out and defend Ocarina of Time for a second on that front, is that this is a bit like if you go back to like an earlier work of like an early movie or an early book and say, this is very cliche. It's like, no, what you don't understand is that it's cliche because this was so good.
And like I definitely get that too.
However, on the other hand, that still doesn't make it not cliche for me as the audience.
Yeah, I think that's the thing, right? Is that being so privileged to play like Wind Waker and Majora's Mask and even like Skyward Sword and shit before I played Ocarina, it really shows the cracks of Ocarina. One thing that I can't stand in any video game is when you have an action that is not meant to be movement, it's not meant to be like a way to move faster, but it ends up becoming the way to move around because you need to move fast, right? So in this game, when you Z-target, you can do a sidestep. And that little sidestep is what most people will do to move around quickly in the game. And I think it's ridiculous that you just don't make the character's walking or running speed a default, you don't make the default speed fast enough for me to just want to move the stick. Because why do I have to Z-target and then sidestep in order to move faster? And it's even fucking worse because at the very beginning of the game, right, you do the whole shit at the forest, in the Forest of Illusion or whatever the fuck it's called. And you walk out and
Lost
you're
Woods.
like, oh, okay, whatever. Lost Woods, the silly hoo-ha woods. You walk out and then you're like, all right, now you have to go to Hyrule Castle. If you make the fucking idiot mistake of walking to Hyrule Castle, by the time you get there, the drawbridge will close and you have to sit there and fucking fight. And that's your first impression of the game, dude. It's like you can't introduce this fun, expansive world, be like, oh, it's time to go to the main castle and really start your journey. And then as soon as you get there, you'd be like, actually, you have to sit here and wait for fucking nighttime to end so you can fucking fight all these stupid fucking skeletons before you're able to play the game. Anyway, so that being said, I do really enjoy.
Welcome to the world. This is what you can see. Fuck you.
Exactly. I think at the end of the day, Ocarina of Time is a good game. It's a great game, and you're stupid to say that it's like a bad game. But I think that when you compare it to every other Zelda game, like before and after, maybe besides the NES games, when you compare it to the Zelda games from before and after, it's not as strong as people say it is.
Well, I mean, yeah, and Clanky, I think an easy way to describe it is that this is kind of what this is to you maybe what Mario 64 is to me, where it's just I'm spoiled for choice at this stage of the game. And I even feel similarly about Ocarina of Time. I'm not going to say Ocarina of Time is my least favorite 3D Zelda, but I'm not sure it's in my top 10 either, but it's still really fun all the way throughout. I didn't know about that sidestep making you go faster, by the way. So I rolled most of the time because you do get a horse halfway through.
But either way, the rolling is still a thing, right? Because when you roll, the roll is not intended to be a run, so it's the same thing. You know what I mean?
But I played too many games like that to really be too bothered. I mean, I think
there's a game next year where you kind of do that.
Oh, I can't wait to discuss it when we get to that one too.
In 1999.
But I think that Ocarina of Time has too many good points to really at the end of the day, it's a fucking Zelda game, and that already means so much.
Yeah, no, listen, I do agree. I do agree.
Okay. We start the voting with Christian.
Can't believe the one Zelda game that I actually have some merit to talk about is going to get destroyed.
Really?
Who knows? Maybe not this round. Maybe. Who knows? Maybe. I mean, I'm going to be part of the problem because I'm going to vote for LSD Dream Emulator.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I kind of have no stock that Ocarina of Time is going to win, and that already comes with its own territory.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, LSD. I like drugs more than Zelda.
Dude, me too.
Don't we all?
How do I say this? I really appreciate how do you say art house games, right? Things like the beginner's guide, things that like aren't necessarily meant to be these like riveting gameplay experiences, but are meant to like mean something. I really respect that. And whether LSD Dream Emulator is meant to mean something or not, I think
it's not.
But like the idea that this game is so like off the walls and weird, I think warrants like great discussion. And even like that's why at the end of the day, it pains me to vote for Ocarina, because like I really would just rather play a good Zelda game than like this weird fucking trippy game. But it's like I still like the idea of what LSD Dream Emulator is trying to do and what it's trying to put on the table.
Can I say what this round feels like? This is like trying to decide between voting for between like if we were doing like a music-lies, like an artist, like a musical artist-lies, and like it was John Cage versus Imagine Dragons.
But that's like exactly it, right? And like John Cage, I respect the shit out of, but like,
but I don't want to listen to 4 minutes 33 seconds.
Is he the one who made the song?
Then you, my friend, I wrote a whole fucking essay about this like earlier this week. All right, man.
I'm joking. I'm joking.
I will say 433 has merit. God damn it.
Is he the one who wrote the song where you unpin a grenade and throw it into the audience?
No. 4 minutes 33 seconds is literally 4 minutes and 33 seconds of silence.
Oh, I know that one.
It is incorrect. That is incorrect. It is about the audience exposure. It's about the discipline of the performer, and it's about how John Cage also discredited both of those interpretations of his piece.
Okay.
I love art.
I love art too, dude. It's great.
We're like fart.
Taylor.
I fucking hate dreams, man. I've hated dreams my entire life. I never have good dreams. Last night I had a dream where the tip of my penis got cut off. It was terrible.
What?
And you're telling me I can play a game where I do nothing but dream and don't actually have any gameplay? It's dude, LSD Dream Emulator looks like the most boring game I've ever seen. I cannot get into something that is weird for the sake of weird. It needs to be fun. And LSD Dream Emulator looks so fucking boring. Every time you touch a wall, the game changes.
What the fuck?
It's Ocarina of Time.
He went insane on that. What?
It's mostly because I had a dream where my penis got cut off, and I'm pretty sore on dreams right now. But like,
you're pretty sore.
Off.
That's what we were using the big hand for. Sorry.
Oh my god.
Yeah, Mick.
So I played one of these games. I'm gonna vote for LSD Dream Simulator, the one I've played.
I mean, we've all dreamt before.
I honestly feel like I honestly thought that Mick was gonna like go against me and be like, "I love dreams. Dreams are the best." I had a dream where I grew 3 penises. It was fantastic.
That's not a dream. That's a nightmare. What would I do with 3 penises?
I had a dream that I was turning into Knuckles the Echidna.
Pissing 3 different urinals at the same time.
I mean, Mick. The benefit of that would be that your condom would fit love.
What is with us? Who are you people?
Like a glove in the Simpsons universe, though, because like,
yeah,
because there would only be 3 fingers.
Jordan, can you make Graham explode again?
Just us.
Yeah. Why? What did you do?
I want to keep you on your toes.
Incredible exploding Graham.
Incredible exploding Graham.
Wait, is it my turn to vote?
Yes.
I had a dream a few days ago where I FaceTimed Robert Pattinson and he convinced him that we should enter the Olympics together in sprinting.
What the hell? I had a dream that I was late for work.
That is a real dream I've had.
What the fuck is this bullshit?
But I'm gonna vote for The Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time.
I mean,
Time means 4 and Graham.
I got my hopes up.
Yeah.
Maybe I shouldn't be complaining. I did have that one dream where Eddie Murphy cornered me in the bathroom to shake my hands while I was taking a pee.
That little pissing boy is having those pisses all the time. That's a tower.
All right. Okay, on to
I did a
losers round
power
1,
heist.
where we have No One Can Stop Mr. Domino versus Spyro the Dragon, and I think something can. We start with Clanky.
Well, for my money, nothing can stop Mr. Domino.
Taylor.
Guys, if we don't stop him now, he'll become too powerful. I know how these work. You know how these work. Remember what happened with Chex Quest? I vote for Spyro.
Oh, yes. Mick.
Chex Quest.
I vote for Spyro.
Mick, why do you have a photo of Eddie Murphy in the bathroom?
Oh, because when Christian told me about this dream, I immediately made this. And incidentally, if you want to know how fucking crazy I am when making a stupid, shitty fucking meme, I even added Eddie Murphy's reflection.
It's really good, and it's very accurate to the dream itself. He looks like that.
Hold on. What would happen if Mr. Domino ran into the Juggernaut? What do you think would happen?
He would turn into a regular domino.
What happens when an unstoppable force hits an immovable object?
But they're both unstoppable forces. Neither of them are immovable.
Graham, that's when you explode.
I'm gonna have so much fun with that.
I want to be
3-1, Christian.
Well, it does seem that someone stopped Mr. Domino.
So are you voting for Mr. Domino?
Oh yeah, I'm voting for Mr. Domino.
Okay, all right. Yeah, I wasn't sure.
Mr. Domino.
I think we're just making a statement.
Just a fact. I like to list facts.
Yeah. Sega Bass Fishing versus Yoshi's Story, starting with Clanky.
Well, I mean, I play the bass, so I gotta vote for Sega Bass Fishing.
Yes.
Clanky plays like one of those singing basses.
He has the fucking plaque. How do you play that? What do you do to it?
You press the button.
What else do you do to it?
I was gonna say you tickle it until it makes the noises you want.
Quack, silly.
Get someone. I want to see a string orchestra where someone has the stupid fish plaque.
20 bass fishes in an orchestra. Taylor.
When I was 6 years old, I went to Barbados. And in Barbados, I don't think I got to experience a lot of the place. I was at a kid's corner the whole time, and I remember 3 things. Watching Pocahontas, a kid with a shark tooth necklace, and playing Yoshi's Story. None of it was all that entertaining. Clanky kind of summed up my first experience with Yoshi's Story. I was, as a kid, very frustrated that I couldn't finish a level. That like the level just ended and then it took me to the next world. And then my hotel rental was up. That being said, Christian, how much content is in Sega Bass Fishing?
As much content as there is in regular fishing. Have you played Sonic Adventure, Taylor?
Oh, God.
However, but hang on. Isn't there only one kind of fish in this game, though?
Yes.
There's Segas too, to be fair.
All right, look, man. Clanky doesn't seem all that hot on Yoshi's Story. Christian bought me the game. I'll vote for Sega-based fishing.
Nick.
One of the lures you can get in this game is just Sonic.
It's great.
Why didn't you? It doesn't matter. I already gave you what you wanted.
Nick.
I'm voting for Sega Bass Fishing.
Graham.
Sega Bass Fishing?
It's 4-0, Christian.
Give Yoshi's Story what it deserves, please.
Women want me. Fish fear me. Police are searching for me in connection with the 1971 hijacking of a Boeing 727 aircraft and subsequent extortion of $200,000, after which I disappeared without a trace.
Starring Jack Lord. Anyway.
Real.
I was hoping that it would get louder and louder as...
Not at this time of night.
Anyway, Christian, is this a confession? Are you Dan Cooper?
Yeah,
I don't
are
know.
you? That makes sense.
I don't know. I've never seen Christian and Dan Cooper in the same room.
Yeah. Grim Fandango versus the Clue Finder's Third Grade Adventure. The Curse of Mathra, starting with Clanky.
Well, I have no choice but to vote for Clue Finders The Great Adventures.
Peace
Isn't
and
that
love.
right, Ringo?
Peace and love. When I was 6 years old. No.
Oh, is it my turn?
Yeah.
Well, when I was 7 years old.
My father took me into the city to see a marching band. No.
But the less about the thief mod, the better.
Listen, just because my elementary school childhood games get so fucking wrecked by you guys does not mean I'm going to spite vote for Grim Fandango when I just spent an entire pitch explaining how the puzzles are asinine. Clue Finders looks way more fun.
Wow.
Oh my god.
By the way, I actually, so like no joke, while I'm replaying it to jog my memory, I actually have like pages of scrap paper as I'm doing the math equations.
Wow.
Makes you think.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Mick.
I'm voting for Clue Finders because Grim Fandango, again, Grim Fandango would make a great movie.
Get Jorge Gutierrez to do it. He knows a thing or two about death.
Oh, like this is like this would be an amazing like it's exactly his aesthetic.
Hollywood. Gladys, are you Hollywood?
Graham.
Grim Fandango, because there isn't a movie about it yet, and it's still a great way to experience Tim Schafer.
Yeah, and Christian.
I hope that if I play Grim Fandango, I can claim that I'm forklift certified. So I'm going to vote for Grim Fandango.
Am I letting Grim Fandango? Yeah, I think I am going to let Grim Fandango die because I don't want to fight for Grim Fandango. Like, that's the thing. Like, maybe in like a bubble, I could be upset with myself for doing this and like making sure that Clue Finders wins. But like, I genuinely think Grim Fandango has awful puzzles, and I genuinely do think that if I grew up with Clue Finders, I would like it more.
Yeah.
I just had to justify that to future Taylor.
Resident Evil 2 versus LSD Dream Emulator, starting with Clanky.
Fucking shit. I was doing so well, dude. Oh my god.
Oh, you loser.
Christian coming out swinging. You loser.
Make Graham explode.
We're making Graham explode?
The art house boy inside of me has to vote for LSD Dream Emulator.
Yes. So we go to Taylor.
Hello, Taylor. I'm your inner art house boy. I want you to vote for LSD Dream Simulator.
Tell you have to listen to him. He's a part of you.
You tried to cut off my penis last night. I'm voting for Resident Evil 2.
Wait, I thought you said it fell off. Are you telling me there was an assailant?
I didn't say that it
He didn't say fell off. He said cut off.
I never said it fell off.
You need to have another dream to catch this maniac.
Christian, get your facts straight. Also, Jordan, make Graham explode.
Maybe it was Eddie Murphy. Maybe Christian, that's why you were hiding from him. Maybe he was
Holy shit. It all comes together.
I can see his dick.
Notice anything strange in your FaceTime call?
Mick.
I am voting for LSD Dream Emulator.
Graham.
Resident Evil 2.
Tied up for Christian.
I am committed to finding the person who cut off the tip of Taylor's penis. I'm voting for
I'm telling you,
Dream
it was
Emulator.
Dave Ming Chang.
I am not going to rest until the case is closed.
Wait, hang on, Mick. What do you mean I'm telling you? Like, this was recent information that you had been telling me this entire night?
No, I literally just said maybe it was Eddie Murphy.
Oh, from Meet Dave?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh God, that movie is so good.
Really?
Listen, if I could remember the name of if I could remember his character's name in Haunted Mansion, I would have gone with that one, but I couldn't. And I blinked and said,
No, you gotta
Dave Ming Chang.
They're all numbers.
It was Pluto Nash.
The way you said "good" in that sentence was so muted.
He's Axel fucking Foley. Banjo-Kazooie versus Thief: The Dark Project, starting with Taylor.
All right.
Both games in which you run around big, rather open-ended levels and collect things.
Mick, don't try to fight me on who loves which game more. You'll lose.
Sure?
I'm not sure I'll lose.
I'd
win.
I cut off my penis for this game, man.
I think these are both some
How
of your
is this
favorite games.
So it's you! You're the one who cut off your own penis. You should be scared of that.
Eddie Murphy innocent.
Well, yeah, because I've been
slammed my penis in the car door.
You slammed your penis in the car door.
All right.
This is where I watched my parents die, Parappa.
All right. Couple of last notes. Banjo-Kazooie is a 1998 platform game developed by Rare and published by Nintendo for the N64. Controlling the player characters, the bear Banjo and bird Kazooie. The player attempts to save Banjo's kidnapped sister Tootie from the witch Gruntilda. The player
Thief the Dark Project was a 1998 first-person stealth video game developed by Liquid West Studios and published by Eidos Interactive, set in an impending travelers called the city. Trained by the society. Little Karen has serious routing coming royal and I'm not like about it. He was the first PS game to use light and sound as gamer tags and combined with our intelligent simulations and live emerging gameplay. It was
the exploding religious thing. Every time I explode, I die a little.
Jordan, Nick is voting for Thief. I'm voting for Banjo-Kazooie. Do the other three.
Graham.
I'm gonna go for Banjo-Kazooie.
What a fucking time to be alive.
That was like a Ratatouille bit.
I didn't puke this time.
I feel like we all just lost consciousness and started speaking in tongues.
That's going to be fun.
The Yearlies, glossolalia.
Christian.
Wait, it's my turn?
Yeah.
Sadly, my fascination with collect-a-thons has waned over the years.
No,
and Thief is a game that
I need your vote, Christian.
Become strong.
No, you don't.
More appealing to me as time goes on.
Taylor, you don't need his vote.
So, Mick, consider this penance for the dreaded year of 2000, and that shall not be named.
I don't even remember 2000 anymore.
Okay. It's 2-2 for Clanky.
I'm voting for Banjo-Kazooie.
Oh, wait, Clanky. Oh, no, I forgot. Clanky said the thing about stealth games. I forgot. Okay.
All right.
Slam my penis in the car door.
You slammed your penis in the car door.
Taylor.
When I was 8 years old, I did a report on tarantulas, and I was really upset because they made me go first, and I didn't understand how the project worked. I didn't know that we could just go and pick any animal. I thought there'd be like a hat with paper in it, but no, I just had to go in and just prove to everyone that I knew what the fuck I was talking about. So I just wrote tarantula, and it works pretty well for me. So I'm voting for Freddi Fish 3.
Okay.
Can't argue with that.
Mick.
Come back to me.
Graham.
I'm gonna vote for Baldur's Gate.
He will never beat Baldur.
Spit that cereal.
Question.
I'm gonna give it to Freddi 3, the case of whatever that is.
Freddi 3.
Freddi 3. No,
well, we're all getting a little Baldur.
No more than others.
You're right.
Not me. I'll never be Baldur.
Some more than others. That's a dig at myself, by the way.
Man. Come on,
I have played Freddi Fish 3, but I haven't played Baldur's Gate 1, so I'm going to give it to Freddi Fish 3. Even if I have played Baldur's Gate, I might have voted for it over Freddi Fish 3. But as I haven't, this is how I'm going.
Okay.
I feel like if you had tried a little harder, you could have done March of the Penguins just now.
And the male penguin. I'd much rather do that one documentary Werner Herzog did about the man who who has only seen penguins for the past 30 years. And then the penguin runs off to the mountains, for he has been taken by madness.
So Yoot Tower versus F-Zero X, starting with Taylor.
When I was F-Zero X.
Yeah. Nick.
Yoot Tower.
Graham.
Well, I understand it live. I haven't played F-Zero 1 through 9.
Yeah.
I was 9 once.
You were going to say.
A through W.
I'm going to go over F-Zero X.
Yeah. Christian?
Like I said in my pitch, I really love how F-Zero X uses 3D space in its courses. I really don't think it's anything that not even Mario Kart 8 really did as well as this does, considering that Mario Kart 8 is many, many years older than this. I will stand by F-Zero X until the fucking grave, goddammit. Like, this is not that far from Glover for me.
Wow.
And also, I'd like my burger well done.
Yeah.
And he so does Ada Sylvac actually 1613.
Yeah. And Clanky.
Did you just speak in tongue?
I mean, we all do at a certain point.
No, Taylor, it's in a martini glass.
Do you want to make Graham explode?
Like, we take all of our pented up aggression out on making Graham explode.
Yearlies, keep talking in tongues and Graham explodes.
This is the same kind of humor as the sea bear bit.
Yeah.
I should have warned you about crawling.
Make Graham explode.
No, I'm voting for F-Zero.
Educational television.
All right. Glover versus The Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time, starting with Taylor.
I think it's hilarious that Glover is about to beat Ocarina of Time. I'm voting for Ocarina of Time, but just watch.
It shouldn't, but imagine if it did.
Mick.
Glover.
Graham.
Is that the Ocarina of Time?
I'm Ron Burgundy. Christian.
I love the glove.
But does he love you?
He does. I know it. He told me.
Two for you, Clanky.
I know what I have to do, but I don't know if I'm strong enough to do it.
Which one have you spent more money on?
You can keep your fucking copy then, Clanky.
On?
Which one have you actually played?
Which one do you actually like?
That's the problem, right? Is that like it'd be so fucking funny to vote for Glover now.
Wouldn't it be way funnier?
It would be. What do I want? What do I like more, my integrity or the bit?
Do it.
Or your friendship?
Don't fucking do it.
No, you can't wage your friendship over this.
You're right. It's Ocarina of Time, but please don't vote for Glover over.
I'm going to use the logic that has been used against games that I've put on the bracket.
Wait, you can use your immunity idol. You don't have to vote.
Wait,
no,
what?
I don't.
That's how it works. Okay.
I don't know.
Wait. What does the immunity idol do? That's the thing. You said there was an immunity idol. We never asked what it actually does.
It's a defensive item.
Here's the problem. If the immunity idol doesn't actually make sense in the context of the yearlies.
It just means that I won't get voted off.
Yeah. But we're not voting each other off, so it doesn't really make any sense. In theory, I guess you could use it for your own pick, but that doesn't really make any sense, because that means that someone else has to lose.
We're kind of voting Graham off.
No, we're not. We're blowing him up. Speaking of which...
Just stay for the bit to continue.
And the flesh pops off the island.
So, I'm going to, like I said, I'm using the logic that has been used against some games that I've put on here on the past. And that is that I know that there are plenty of other Zelda games I like more than Ocarina of Time, but there's only one Glover. So I'm voting for God.
I can't believe I've Pavlovianly conditioned all of you over the course of many, many years to live into a situation where Glover would be a better game than Ocarina of Time.
I like the idea that you've been planning this way before we ever even did our PS2 project. And like the entirety of your life built around this one moment.
I can't believe it.
Okay. Thief, The Dark Project versus LSD Dream Emulator, starting with Mick.
Thief, The Dark Project. As much as I like Dream Emulator, one is more of an actual... okay, I love Thief.
Yeah.
You were about to say an actual game.
Yeah.
It has gameplay.
Graham.
If it's a dark project, how do I see it?
It's not completely.
By the way, I'm not sure. I don't know this for sure. I think Thief the Dark Project. I think that subtitle might have come from the same place that Project Triangle Strategy had, where they literally named it the Dark Project and then couldn't come up with a better title and eventually said, I don't know, throw Thief on the front because that's what they do, and then just Thief the Dark Project. Fuck it.
That's really funny.
I don't know that for certain, but I think it was in development as we'll call it the Dark Project for now, but we'll come up with something better, and then they didn't.
Kristen.
I came up with an acronym earlier for LSD, but it's such low-hanging fruit that I'm not even going to bother. I vote for LSD Dream Emulator.
Let's swim dinosaurs?
I was going to say, don't you mean low-sanging doot?
Okay, maybe the fruit wasn't that low.
I was going to say, let's siphon dildos.
You're closer than the others were.
Let's suck. Anyway.
And Jordan got it.
Yeah. Let's suck Richards.
I'm voting for LSD Dream Emulator.
And it comes down to Taylor.
Is it tied?
Yes.
Oh. Well, Pete.
Taylor, if you don't vote for LSD, you'll never find out who cut off the tip of your penis. The case will go cold.
Some rabbi.
No, to be honest, I think Mick solved the case. Actually, I think it was me because I've been learning how to use a knife.
Yeah, that's right.
I cut a slab. I cut a chunk of flesh off my finger, and I actually had to get stitches. I just got them off after 10 days of stitches. And I saw through the bone. It was really bad. So I've been actually really paranoid about knives lately, and like I think the dream was trying to tell me something.
The dream was your own phobia materialized.
It was you that cut off the tip of your penis because it was your brain.
Hang on, what was the context? Were you cutting carrots naked?
I was
I'm trying to think how you accidentally cut off the tip of your penis.
I was peeing, and as I was peeing, the tip of my penis fell off, and I had to here's the thing, like
hang on, yeah, you forgot that your hands got replaced by scissors in the middle of the night.
Tim Burton presents.
Well, no, but so here's the thing, right? You could still like reattach it, like you put like a button on a knob kind of thing.
So on a knob.
It was kind of there. But thank you for letting me indulge this with you guys. By the way, thank you for not shying away from this.
Look, I care about you, and I want to make sure that justice is delivered swiftly.
Never shy away from your friends' penises. That's what I always say.
Hang on.
I'm scared what he's getting.
There was a song written about this.
King Mr. Detachable Penis.
It's actually a bop. Where was I? Oh, yes. Baldur's Gate versus Foo Fighters' Third Grade Adventures. Starting with Mick.
Mick, if you voted for Freddi Fish 3 over Baldur's Gate, you know what you have to do.
Yeah, I know. I play Clue Finders 3rd grade, so I guess I'm going to vote for that.
And so the Penguins marched on.
Graham.
You don't know any actual lines from March of the Penguins.
Every time I give a penguin mate.
They do be marching.
Baldur's Gate.
Christian.
Come back to me.
Clanky.
I'm sorry to say, John, but this is where we abandon you. I'm voting for Baldur's Gate.
Paul is dead. Taylor.
Are you guys listening? Clue Crew!
Clue Crew goes so hard I want to change my vote.
Then do it.
Christian.
We're not done yet. What do you have? What do you want? What do you want Baldur's Gate for?
Fuck it. Yeah,
Clue Crew.
I gotta change my vote for Clue Crew.
Oh god. Well, Clanky,
I'm gonna be so upset if this beats Thief.
You kind of saved me the trouble. I'll vote for Baldur's Gate since it lost.
All right. Sorry, I was just listening to Detachable Penis again.
As we do.
Yeah.
Guys, I'm terrified. I'm terrified of round 21.
You did this to yourself.
I know.
Okay. Yoot Tower versus Sega Bass Fishing. Honestly, do what you want. Mick.
Come back to me.
Graham.
I'm going to vote for 2 Tower. Toy Tower?
Starring Robin Williams.
Are you trying to pronounce a Wheel of Fortune panel?
What is Yoot backwards?
Yes.
Jordan, make Graham explode.
Christian.
Women want fish. Me fear me. I'm voting for Sega Bass Fishing.
Clanky.
You
Damn it! Fuck.
Taylor.
Christian. How much?
If you're gonna ask me the same fucking question again.
Why Mayo models?
Because I have the same fucking answer for you.
I'm gonna vote for Sega Bass Fishing.
Yeah, tied up for Mick, I think.
Jordan, how much content is there in Yoot Tower?
Surprising amount. All these
Yoot Tower.
Okay.
Son of a bitch.
Right.
Listen, if I want a fishing game, I have Sonic Adventure. Okay.
I'm not even going to start. Jordan, make Graham explode again.
Just like my favorite Dimension 20 show, I'm just gonna never stop blowing up.
Yeah. And before we go any further, are you okay with us blowing you up for this bit?
Oh, absolutely. I'm the center of the attention of the bit. How could I not love this?
He's enjoying it. Ew.
Okay, good. Just making sure.
He's enjoying it. That's it. Jordan, make Graham blow up again.
You nasty. You.
Jordan, put Graham back together.
Okay.
All the king's horses and
all the king's men couldn't put Graham back together again. I was about to say the same fucking thing.
Jordan, push Graham off the great big wall.
Now we know why he had a great fall. Jordan pushed him off in the editing bay.
Oh my god.
Why were they getting the horses to try to put them back together? What were they going to do?
They're glue! Glue!
Oh.
This is so good. Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time versus Spyro the Dragon, starting with Mick.
Spyro.
Graham.
Zelda.
Christian.
Swordolf.
What?
I think that was Zelda.
You heard what I said.
No,
hey, literally, how would that in any way sound like Spyro?
It didn't exactly sound like Zelda either, though. That's the thing.
It sounded like one of the Muppet guests from the Game Awards.
You know what, Jordan? Whichever one you think it is my answer.
I think you were trying to do Zelda?
Then that's my answer.
Okay. Clanky.
All right, I gotta be sensible. I gotta vote for Zelda.
And Taylor.
It's 3-1.
Yeah.
I mean, I could be nice and just let Spyro have the 2, but like, there are better Spyro games, Zelda. Oh, okay. But I just made that argument.
There are better Zelda games.
Yeah, right?
Quick question. Which one would you rather play right now, Spyro or Zelda?
Which one has more content?
Which game do you like more?
According to my own entries, I put Zelda above Spyro.
Then go for Zelda. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. You're right. Why the fuck am I agonizing over this? Make Graham explode again!
Yay!
It's like a roller coaster.
I thought you were the roller coaster.
I am.
Clue Finders Third Grade Adventures versus Thief the Dark Project, starting with Graham.
Hang on tight, Mick.
Hey, if I ever get famous, this will be me. That'll be me blowing up yet again.
Mm-hmm.
Vote for Clue Finders.
Oh,
Are you fucking serious?
Oh,
Christian.
No.
You know, I was originally going to say come back to me to make you sweat, Mick, but I think now my job is to balance the scales, so I'm going to vote for Thief the Dark Project.
Okay, thank you.
Clanky.
Well, of course, I have to vote for Clue Finders yet again.
Mick, I am so sorry.
Taylor, please, I need you to do me a favor. I need you to do me a huge favor.
Will this be better or worse than Nicktoons Racing? Only time will tell.
How do I come out? How do I lose in this? How do I fucking why is it like I know what I want to vote for and know that it's gonna make Mick mad somehow. Somehow Mick is gonna be upset that I vote for the game that I want to vote for because he showed it to me.
Taylor, would Mick do the same for you?
I will do the same for you. I will vote. I was going to vote for Yoot Tower next round. I'll vote for Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time instead.
But has he in the past?
I feel like it's been a while since we had one of these.
Yeah.
Please. Have mercy.
To quote a great man, come on, it'll be funny.
Tell me why. No, because if you do that and I still vote for the other thing, you're going to just get mad.
Look, Clue Founders is great, but at the end of the day, and it would have been fun to play, but you can't go back to it. It's a game for third graders, and as fun as like
speed run Freddi Fish 3 times.
I know,
but you played Freddi Fish.
But that's the thing.
When you were younger.
Freddi Fish 3 is still fun as an adult.
But Mick,
it's third grade math problems.
I think a bigger question is, what do you have against Thief if you're going to vote for an elementary school game over it?
It's not that. It's the fucking sense of humor, style, the fact that it's a point-and-click adventure. Like, there was a lot there.
Yeah.
Like, there was an actual amount. Like, I was actually impressed with Clue Finders. This isn't like a fuck Thief thing.
I know.
Like an actual
really, the person I should be trying to convince is Graham, because I feel like he just wants me to suffer.
Well, Graham?
Yeah. Graham actually likes stealth games.
But I also played the Clue Fighters 4th grade.
It's nothing like... Third grade is nothing like 4th grade. They're totally different games. So if you like 4th grade, you're not going to like 3rd grade.
I don't know, I saw you playing, I was like, this is a lot like 4th grade.
No, I'm telling you, they're completely different.
Okay.
No, I trust myself more.
You shouldn't.
Oh, woof.
Listen,
That's it. Make him explode again.
Listen, Thief the Dark Project, I don't know if you know about this, but it actually turns into Clue Finders 4th grade midway through.
No, I can't do that. It's less fun.
Nick, here is my honest answer. You were impressed me with Clue Finders, and Thief is a 90s stealth game, and I'm with Clanky. I'm not the biggest stealth game guy.
No!
I'm sorry, Clue Crew.
Oh my god. This is why I hate these non-humongous entertainment games. I always push back against them.
Mick, all I ever wanted is for an edutainment game to get this far, and now it's here.
Nick.
Very unfortunately, it was your pick, too.
Okay. But I'm gonna hold you to this, Taylor. You're gonna need to make it go further, okay? And I will not forgive you if it dies next round.
It depends. Okay, there is a chance. Okay, depends on how round 24 goes.
It's got to go further than this.
There is a chance it can go farther than this.
No, it has to. For your sake, it has to.
Don't again, Mick. These are both your.
You're right. For Graham's sake, it has to.
He's gonna do more than explode in a minute.
Mick, I want you to remember something. All I did was vote last.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's not your fault. It's Graham's fault.
Well, technically, Mick voted last, but
you have nothing to threaten me with.
I'm glad I'm getting away scot-free with that one.
Because no. Here's the thing. I know, like, Taylor, obviously, he's gonna like point-and-click adventure games more, okay? You're obviously, Clanky, you're obviously not gonna, because you don't like stealth games, okay? Christian, thank you for having my back. Graham's the only one I could really convince, and he's let me down. Again.
We're gonna make you explode and then not be able to come back.
Okay. Mick and Graham are enemies.
No, we can't kill him in a way that matters.
I cast med butt crack.
Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time versus Yoot Tower. Starting with Graham.
I'm over Ocarina of Time, but it's spelled Tyme.
Okay. Christian.
I'm voting for Ocarina of Time, but it's spelled Thyme.
Son of a bitch, stole my bet.
Well, then get more creative, and then it's your turn. You got to add to it.
Okay.
I'm voting for Ocarina of Time, but Ocarina is spelled Ocarina.
Yeah. Taylor.
When I was 13, I was bar mitzvah. And during my Torah portion, I said, I'm voting for the Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. And everyone said, that doesn't sound like Hebrew. And I said, well, I did the work. You didn't.
Mazel
Give me money. Mazel
tov.
Make Graham explode. Mazel tov.
And
you hoist Graham up on the chair, and as soon as he reaches the top, he explodes.
You know how at Jewish weddings, you break the glass and you go Mazel tov. What if you just make Graham explode everywhere?
What happened at my wedding? And Mick.
I'm voting for Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, except the entire thing is spelled YOOT space TOWER.
That's still a vote for Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time.
No, it's not. It's a vote for Yoot Tower.
All right. Well, thanks, Mick. Okay. Banjo-Kazooie versus Freddi Fish 3, The Case of the Stolen.
feel like so many of these rounds are us fighting against our own picks.
Yeah, but see, here's the difference. Well, no, there's no difference, actually. I'd be really pissed if Freddy Fish 3 won right now. And this is exactly what Mick just went through.
Yeah.
I am going to vote for Banjo-Kazooie.
That's one for Banjo. It is my turn. I'm going to vote for, despite my depleting enjoyment of collect-a-thons, I have a lot. If there's any collect-a-thon, I was probably going to vote for it. It would be Banjo-Kazooie. I think if I play Banjo-Kazooie, it would probably end up being my favorite collect-a-thon, I would say. Ekum Bokum, I'm voting for Banjo-Kazooie.
You ummed.
Oh, fucking shit.
8 million years in the barrel of crabs.
Go-huh. Da-da-da-dun. Knock, knock.
Except for Freddy Fish 3.
Uh-huh. I have a kazoo right over here, actually, guys. Do you wanna
Holy
hear it?
shit!
Okay.
That is the
You
worst
haven't-
sound.
Dude,
You have
it's like I'm
any?
actually playing the game.
That is the worst sound I have ever heard.
And it's the kazoo from Banjo-Kazooie. Wait a minute.
Hey.
Lisa looking in like the glass.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
upset.
That's what I was trying to reference.
Yeah.
So is that a vote for Banjo-Kazooie?
Yeah, no, it's a.
Man,
All
why
right,
does Taylor get
Banjo
to be
wins.
happy?
Banjo wins, but Taylor?
What did you just say, Mick?
Man, why does he get to be happy and not me?
What again? Why am I the bad guy?
I'm not. You're not the bad guy. I'm lamenting my own misery.
Yeah, now it's a victim of circumstance.
It's like why does someone else get to be happy and not me?
Oh, maybe if you voted for Baldur's Gate 3, this wouldn't have happened.
Baldur's Gate 3 is not on here.
No, because Baldur's Gate 3 would have beaten Thief the Dark Project still.
Look,
would've
It'd be really
Baldur's
unfair
Gate.
if Baldur's Gate 3 went against all these games.
I probably would have voted for Baldur's Gate over Thief. He's not wrong. But I am voting for Banjo-Kazooie over Freddy Fish 3. It's even my turn. Is it my turn?
Yes, it's your turn.
4-0, and then that just leaves Mick.
I'm voting for Freddy Fish 3.
That's 4-1 to Banjo-Kazooie. Jordan, you can throw it in.
Oh, never mind.
Guys, we just proved that we can self-govern. Look at us go.
No, we can't. That was literally 30
We don't
seconds.
need
We're
your- no.
hopeless.
We don't need Jordan.
Remember when we did 2006?
That's the editors.
Remember when we did 2006 and started without Jordan and we just melted into a pile of awkwardness?
When Christian spent like 7 minutes telling us why New Super Mario Brothers for DS is the best thing ever, then voted against it.
How could I ever forget?
Go on to F-Zero X versus Glover.
And now it's my turn.
Yes. Starting with Graham.
X0F.
X going give it to you.
X don't get.
These were like my two most played N64 games when I was at the age that I was playing both of these so frequently. So, fucking sucks to see them together. All you need is 007 GoldenEye to have the trifecta of Christian nostalgia. Let's give it to Glover, and then if it loses, then we're about to have a rough round 26. I'll tell you that much.
Of course. Then that means Clanky.
This is unfortunately where the gloves come off. I'm voting for F-Zero.
Oh, that pun was so good. I'll even forgive you for it.
So good. Taylor.
This is where I throw down the glove, F-Zero.
Man, your puns are so funny. Have I ever told you how funny you all are?
And Mick.
Glover.
I want you to know, Mick, had Glover won, I wouldn't have been able to help you with this promise.
That's fair.
This is sick. You're all sick.
Wow. All right. Freddy Fish 3, Case of the Stolen Conch Shell versus Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. And with us, somehow this is going to be close. The voting order has shifted. It is now Christian's turn.
Ocarina of Time.
Clanky.
Ocarina.
Taylor.
Come back to me.
Mick.
Freddy Fish 3.
And Graham.
Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time.
We're back.
Graham is. I've realized that Graham is my worst enemy during these.
This was Mick. This was me and you in the 2000s.
No, I think what he's realizing is that Graham was always his enemy, but Graham always stays under the radar. Like Graham cares the least about what happens, so he's able to hurt you the most.
I'm like the villain that's like been in the series the whole time, but is like only becomes the main villain in like the final season.
Yeah.
Remember when we did Kneecap Mafia and they went new scene, and then Graham comes in and he's like, "I was the bad guy the whole time."
That's it.
I never saw Kneecap Mafia.
That's where it started.
Okay.
that was Graham's
I still have the link
moment.
somewhere from it.
It's my vote, right?
Yeah.
It's 3-1?
Whoever said come back to you, yeah.
Yeah. If Ocarina is 1, then I'll let Freddi Fish 3 have it too. Hey, Ocarina.
Yeah.
I think someone made that joke earlier.
Glover versus the Clue Finders third grade invention. Shit's about to go down. Starting with Christian.
I think out of every round that has ever happened in the Yearlies, just this once, I have earned the right to go last.
Clanky.
This is my Ringo impression. I'm voting for Glover.
He really did love that game, didn't he?
Taylor.
Mick, I want you to know something.
Yeah.
Clue Finders getting into the final 4 hinges on Graham again, because I'm voting for Clue Finders.
Okay. Graham, I've never wanted you to be an asshole more in my entire life.
I'm voting for Clue Finders.
Graham.
What power I yield.
I hate Graham so much.
He really is gonna fuck one of us right now.
He's got no choice.
And that's the thing. I don't even want Clue Finders to win. I just don't want Thief's death to be in vain.
Wow.
Every death is in vain.
That's not true.
This, clearly.
No life is pointless that brightens the day of another.
Mick has to fight so hard not to turn this into a spite vote. Jordan, play like 3 notes of Mick's theme music.
How am I going to be a spite vote?
No, if it wasn't your own thing.
Oh.
The accident wasn't your fault.
Ah, fuck it. What the heck? Why don't I just give it to Glover?
Graham, what did I do to you?
I'm making content, Mick.
So.
But why does it have to be against me?
For this reason. The emotion.
I am legally obligated to vote for Glover, but there was a brief moment in my heart where I wanted to get Clue Finders in to avenge Thief.
Well,
I was just going to accept Glover's position.
I want you to know that means nothing to Mick. You didn't vote for what he wants, and he's pissed at you.
Clanky, do you think I could convince you to change your mind?
Yeah, go ahead. Give it a try.
So, you've spent a lot of money on Glover, and that's true. However, which one have you gotten more Beatles impressions out of?
Oh, well, that's very true.
Is there a Beatles character in Glover? I don't think so. There is Chester Cheetah, though. If that means anything to you.
I also did forget that there's also the Monkees, which is another band I really like.
And I will say, Clanky, I'm not really doing this to pick on Christian. I'm seeing the point where a point is made. I said I'm not doing this to pick on Christian.
That's what you say before you pick on Christian.
Well, it's just that, like, Clanky started this by saying, like, I keep buying Glover for people, but I don't actually play Glover. I don't know how much fascination I have in Glover. But you sat down and watched Clue Finders third grade, and you laughed really fucking hard, man. Like,
you're right, especially because, like, I'd probably fucking hate Glover if I played it. If I'm being honest.
Wait, really? It's actually a fun platformer. Wait, hold up.
Christian, you're missing. You're missing the key point. It is on the Nintendo 64.
I do hear.
You know what? You're exempt.
I do hear that the PlayStation version is better.
No, the PlayStation version is worse. I don't know what these people are talking about.
James Rolfe said it's better.
He's the angry video game nerd.
Yeah, so his opinions matter.
Stating facts.
That's what I said earlier. I like stating facts.
I'll switch it to Clue Finders. I think you convinced me.
Ooh.
Wait, you really are?
I think I have to.
He said earlier he doesn't like Glover.
All right, well, I'm still going last because the thing is, even though Pikmin 2 is my favorite game.
You voted for Glover already. Wait.
What?
You're doing the same thing that you did with Pikmin. You already voted for Glover.
I'm giving my ending speech. So, even though Even though games like Pikmin 2 are my favorite game, or GoldenEye 007 was my first game, or I talk endlessly about Hollow Knight or Isaac, I think at the end of the day, I don't think there's a single game that any of you know me more for than Glover.
Yes.
So even though it is far from the best game that I could have ever put up here, at the very least, I'm glad that I can represent the purest form of myself possible on this bracket. And maybe
it is true. Glover and Christian are inseparable in my head.
It's true. That is my glove.
I will always go to Hollow Knight when I think of Christian, to be fair, but
and you know what?
Glover is up there.
But the thing is that like Hollow Knight has so many other associations in my head. Like there's other people I know who like Hollow Knight. I only know one person who loves
Christian
Glover.
liked Hollow Knight before Hollow Knight was cool in my mind.
I was an early adopter. But we'll return to this conversation when Glover 2 comes out. I'm voting for Glover again.
Not if, when.
When?
There's no such thing as a dead franchise. Christian.
And I'm always right. I've never been wrong.
Okay. So, our final four. I called maybe two of these.
How? What? Sorry. just a little surprised at one of these.
No, I mean, maybe I would have called F-Zero, but the Clue Finders.
I'm just as shocked as you are.
I've done my job.
Yeah.
Even though I didn't need you to do anything to earn your forgiveness, I did it anyways.
No. I don't hold this against you.
So let's risk our credibility here. Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time versus the Clue Finders' third grade adventures. Escape from the wrath of Mathra.
Escape from Butcher Bay.
Starting with Christian still.
This is probably the last round that I am okay with Clue Finders winning. I'm going to vote for Ocarina of Time anyway, though.
I hate you.
That means Clanky.
I was thinking of what to say in the fucking Beatles voice, but I think I'm tired of this joke. So I'm just going to vote for Ocarina and call it a day.
Taylor.
I've done my job, Mick. I'm voting for Zelda.
Yeah.
Mick.
I knew it was going to be a Zelda game that
Stop. It's not Zelda's fault at this point.
No, it's not Zelda's fault. No, I just knew it was going to come to this eventually. So yeah, I'm voting for Clue Finders.
And Graham.
I'm voting for Legend of Zelda.
4-1.
Man, what a dick move, Graham.
You know, there's a thing I never mentioned about Clue Finders, and that is that one of the songs has been stuck in my head for the past however many years it has been since I played this game. Like, literally, there's one song which has every at least once a year pops into my head. It's weird. Anyway.
Multiply.
Banjo-Kazooie versus F-Zero X. Starting with Christian.
Well, at least one of my favorite nostalgic N64 games got on here, so maybe I am in no room to complain. Let's see if it can. Let's try and pull a miracle out of our hats here. I'm voting for F-Zero X.
Clanky.
Yeah, I'm also voting for F-Zero. I fucking did it again. I'm voting for F-Zero X.
Okay. Taylor.
Well, now I need Graham's help. And Mick's help. Because I vote for one of my favorite games of all time.
Mick.
Banjo-Kazooie.
Yeah.
Come back.
F-Zero is all I have left.
Graham.
For Xerox.
You're right, man. Graham is the word.
And Mick.
Banjo-Kazooie.
Jordan. Make Graham implode.
Make him implode.
Ooh, that's
Make him what?
His stomach grumbles. I gotta go to the bathroom.
and he says, "Oh, I gotta go to the bathroom," and then you go in the bathroom and you hear like this. You hear like the sound of like the Doppler effect going in reverse as he is sucked into a small black hole within himself. It just there's a sound of a blast of Cherenkov radiation comes in out from under the door.
All right.
Wow, you took what I said and you made it way darker.
I love that interpretation.
Really
Banjo-Kazooie versus Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time. Either way, it's Clanky's turn.
This is tough, right? because at the end of the day, like Banjo-Kazooie is this critically acclaimed game that I've heard a lot of good things about, and I've heard that it's a quirky, fun platformer, and that's all shit that's really up my alley. But in theory, so is Ocarina of Time.
Ocarina of Time is this collection of 60 episodes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Clanky, I can't sit here and promise you that you would love Banjo-Kazooie more than Ocarina of Time, but I can tell you that Banjo-Kazooie is the best of its franchise. This is the argument that you told me works on you. Banjo-Kazooie is the best. Ocarina is just another Ocarina. Banjo-Kazooie has music that I do genuinely believe you could get enveloped in. If you don't like the gameplay, you will get enveloped in the charm.
Grant Kirkhope is a great composer, and I love the music from Banjo-Kazooie. It's definitely up there. I need to think about it. Would you mind coming back to me?
No, of course, not at all. Taylor.
Listen, if I can get Banjo-Kazooie into second place, I'll walk away happy. Banjo-Kazooie.
Yeah. Mick.
Banjo-Kazooie.
Graham.
Legend of Zelda.
Christian.
Look, I'm really happy I got to talk about the Zelda game. That is the only one that I could actually give any sort of meaningful commentary on. But I think if Ocarina of Time won this bracket, I'd want to throw up. I just can't stomach the idea.
You're so right.
I know, right?
It makes me sick. I'm going to vote for Banjo-Kazooie.
Wow, you know what? That was like a betrayal of the game. Like, I didn't know you felt that strongly.
I like the game. I like it, but god damn.
Is it the idea that like another 1998 discussion leads with Ocarina of Time as the best thing?
Exactly. That, and also, like, between these two games, I think I would probably like Banjo-Kazooie more if I played it.
Yeah. Back to you, Clanky. 3-1.
It does make the vote easier, but because it doesn't matter at the end of the day what I vote for.
I feel like you have to vote for Banjo now. You just said that you'd be disgusted if Zelda won.
Yeah, that's the thing, right? Yeah, I'm voting for Banjo because I don't want Zelda Ocarina of Time to be our best game of '98 because then we're the most unoriginal hacks in the world.
Yeah, it's like making Breath of the Wild the best game of 2006.
All right, shut up, shut your mouth, shut your mouth. All right, knock it off.
Breath of the Wild.
Okay, I was just voicing my opinion.
I totally understand, George.
It's so funny that the essence of the Beatles is contained in a single sound.
Jordan, turn Graham into a toad.
Sure.
Does that mean we have to like kiss him to bring it back to
normal? I got this.
You want to do
it? We should just leave him like this. He deserves it.
Mwah.
I don't know. I feel like he'll get into Toad shenanigans.
F-Zero. Yes.
I am having fun.
I didn't specify which Toad, huh?
If you keep him as a Toad, he'll get into the Mick and Taylor Are Friends cover, and I just don't want it on the cover.
He does.
It's actually really good.
He kind of pulls it off. That's the thing.
So good.
Although, Christian, you made a good point. Right. We could turn him into a Mario Toad.
True.
You have to do Toad's Worth.
F-Zero X versus Banjo-Kazooie for all the marbles, starting with Clanky.
F-Zero X?
Yeah, I know that there's no fighting
Taylor.
on this. I do respect F-Zero X. I think that there are other F-Zero games I prefer. I think that the course design of F-Zero X is a little not as amazing as it could be because they sacrifice high def graphics for a better frame rate, which is the more important thing at the end of the day. But I think F-Zero GX kind of combined the two things to make a more realized version of what F-Zero X is. I definitely want to go back and play some F-Zero X sometime. I just feel like F-Zero X is not Banjo-Kazooie for me, and I certainly will not hold malice when F-Zero X inevitably wins because it just beat Banjo-Kazooie 5 minutes ago. But I will talk long enough that someone will forget that they voted for F-Zero X and change their mind.
He's right. The strategy's really strong.
That might work.
Because when I was 41, I made Graham explode again.
Mick.
I'm voting for Banjo-Kazooie.
Graham.
I think that was one explosion too many, guys. I think it's over.
He's not coming back from that one.
I think that means that's a vote for Banjo-Kazooie.
He might
No, I
be
think I was
right.
hearing it. Hold on. Can one of us kiss Graham to turn him back to normal, please?
Rover F-Zero.
Oh.
Turn
Why
him
don't you
back.
just let him. Yeah, turn him back.
No, this was the good ending.
So it's 2-2. F-Zero, Banjo-Kazooie. We could just end it here. We don't have to
Guys,
go
you're
to
not going to
Christian.
believe this. I think I want to vote for Banjo-Kazooie.
Wow.
Say more.
What an upset.
Wait, are you trolling?
So I've been thinking about this for seeing F-Zero X and Banjo-Kazooie on here. First of all, F-Zero X being here is fucking amazing. I didn't get to talk about it as much because I've been so hell-bent on Glover, but F-Zero X is a huge nostalgia game. It is the one that I physically showed over there. But F-Zero X is as much fun as it is a somewhat simplistic racer that I haven't really been able to even get to play with a lot of people because they aren't even that interested in it. I love it. I loved playing through the time trials. I think it's one of the best racing games, if not the best racing game on the Nintendo 64, and one of the best Nintendo 64 games. But Banjo-Kazooie being the best collect-a-thon ever in a genre that also kind of established my entire identity, even if I am not super fond of the genre nowadays, it feels more right to me. I would be going against my own entry and would be seen as a betrayal for sure. And I know everyone gets on me about these fucking betrayals, right? But
Mainly Taylor, and I don't think he's going to complain in this case, though.
There's a whole compilation of Christian betrayals. Don't put it all on me.
I just
don't.
Something about F-Zero X does not scream Game of the Year for me. Maybe if it was Glover, this would be different. But F-Zero X screams second place victory. And Banjo-Kazooie as a game with an amazing soundtrack, with some of the best graphics on the N64, and something that masters the collect-a-thon gameplay in such a way that no game afterwards has ever been able to come close to actually doing right.
True. True. So true. So true.
I think Banjo has earned the number one, honestly.
You know what? This is what's going to happen, right? I have to get this victory because next year is going to be the worst Yearlies of my life.
Really?
Oh, absolutely.
Taylor, I will be as nice as I can, but it's going to be rough. I'm sorry.
It's going to be a rough one. You got to take your lumps.
I hear the monkey's paw words in your statement.
You got to take your lumps.
Interesting choice of words there, Taylor.
Did you see that the monkey's paw is a big hand?
Did you know that if I take a hand and cut my penis off with it, that it hurts? Should say we probably only have time for one more Graham curse. Do we want to just do a casual explosion, or do we want to do something bolder?
Can we let the ball drop?
Hit me with your best shot.
I cast testicular torsion.
No, we should let Graham do the outro, and then he explodes at the end of the outro.
All right. Hi, all right, audience. Thanks for watching 1998. This was the year that some of us were born, some of us were not born this year. Find out which at the beginning of the video. Please subscribe. Please like and comment. Share with your friends. If your mom watches, hey, let me talk to your mom. And next year, it's
next year's gonna be
1998.